gonna knock into this thing now. Today I have with me two members. Would it be considered the full band?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
The Corduroy Blue, correct?
Yes, sir.
Love it. Thank you guys for coming on, man. I'm excited.
Cheers.
I'm glad y'all are here.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, man. Will you hit me up? What, this week, or was it last week?
Well, we played a gig with new favorites Calico.
The homies. Yeah, the homies. Yeah.
They're so good. But it was like a weird ass comedy skit. Like they played as like a little house band. It was really funny.
Yeah, they mentioned this to me that they played some sort of event where they were like lounge music.
Yeah,
kinda.
they were like
Tonight Show music. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they were like the sound effects for like the comedy and like the
Sweet.
in between transitions. It was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love them right away. And they're also, there's bands I'm sure you've met. They're like, music's not your thing, but they're really nice. Or the music is your thing, but they're kind of assholes. So you're like, all right, these guys were great. Yeah. And they were nice. So
exactly, yeah. They came in here on the show, and I'd never met them, and they were just wonderful. And I was like, shit, you guys are awesome. We should play together. And they're really good.
Oh my gosh,
they're really good.
The drummer is 19 years old, and
that's what I'm saying.
Oh my god,
they're like mind-blowingly musically talented.
I was watching, I think his name's Aiden on the keys. I was like, I hate you so much.
I was mixing him the other night. They were playing in Athens, and I was like every time he'd do a little key solo, I was just like riding it up.
Yeah.
Give me more of that, please.
More.
Well, awesome. Kind of tell me about you guys. I don't know very much about you because as I've said, we just discovered you, or I just did when you messaged me, and I was impressed, dude. Honestly, first glance, I was like, damn, these guys look like the real deal, man. You guys really do. You got the look going on. And then I checked out the tunes, and I was like, the tunes are fucking good, man. I probably listened to Could It Be probably like 7 times.
I was
now.
gonna say that's
probably
your Oasis
times.
song.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of got that vibe to it. It's like got some just like immaculate vibe. I don't want to get too deep into it yet. I want to get like the origin story first.
Yeah, sure.
But before we do that, I want to thank my show sponsor. I don't know, you guys might have heard of them or heard of this event, excuse me. It's called the Classic City Jam. You guys heard of it?
I've heard of that,
Yeah, so it's my buddy Garrett Chiramonte and Clear Mountain Entertainment's putting on this show. 7 great Athens bands. It's Cam and his Damn Jam Band, Whims Happily, the Angelics, 80 Blanco, Convince the Kid, who am I missing? Florida Man. And tickets are $10. It's the first Saturday of the semester. You guys go get tickets to that. I'm going to put it in the bio. Thanks to Clear Mountain for being a show sponsor. So, you guys should come to that. That'd be a good networking opportunity.
When is it?
It's August 27th. It's a Saturday. Yeah, it's like 2 weeks from now or something. It'd be great.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's at Paloma Park. I'm excited about it. It's going to be great.
Sick.
But anyways, let's get moving. Tell me, guys, like kind of you guys' origin story. How did this band thing start? Like I noticed on the Instagram that there was only posts from this year, so I imagine it hasn't been going that long, right?
Well, yes and no. We, I kind of like the whole. I don't know how to. I kind of like to think, there are acts and bands that are doing things like whether it's, creating eras and changing their hairstyle, changing their haircut. Like, you think that's just something that famous people do. And for me, I think if you start doing that sort of thing now, first of all, it shows that you care. It shows that you're passionate. It shows that the little things matter. And so that when you do get lucky, you get a break, you're already doing those things.
Yes.
And you're kind of in the practice of branding yourself properly. So I say that because we've been doing it since 2020.
Really?
And we had posts for years. And we announced our debut record. We archived everything.
Ooh, okay. That's smart.
So there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And you can use everything as a branding opportunity. So I screenshotted the fact that there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, like what's coming? And
interesting.
And then we announced the debut record. And so really everything on the page now is just from the debut
I
album
like
on.
that.
It's
I think that's
suspense
cool.
for the debut album, if you will.
Yeah.
When
it's
it comes
like a
out,
rebrand almost.
Right,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When it comes out, I want to bring all that stuff back because like we spent a lot of time and energy on those posts.
Yeah. I think archiving it was a good call.
Yeah. I'll go back and unarchive it. But
Yeah.
like the 1975 are a huge influence for me. They have been for a long time.
I listen to them all the time, man. I'm a fan. I'm a huge
good
fan.
shit.
I like them
Sonically,
because
The production.
you never know what you're gonna get too. Like every song.
I like the new single. Have you listened to their new single?
It's awesome.
It's like risky
The music,
almost.
the
but
music
I like
video is
it.
cool too.
I haven't seen it. Is
You
it
should
good?
check it out. It's so dope.
The music video,
Interesting.
their music
Interesting.
videos are like,
But
But
no,
yeah.
I think that's smart. I mean, like as a branding move, not many people are making moves that bold per se. And when I looked you up, like immediately looking through you guys 20 posts that you do have, I was like, wow, like these are all like professional photos. Like the videos are super quality. There's one like interview-esque, what was it? Unpopular opinion thing. I watched that whole video. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Stranger Things part. Big Stranger Things guy. So that was fun to watch.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started with that shit.
I love it, man. I've been rewatching it. I'm back on season 3 now, and I looped back around through it. Yeah, I love it.
Sick.
But like everything about it was like, damn, who is it? Why does this band look so legit? And I've never heard of them as like a connoisseur of trying to find bands, you know. So I was excited. Cool that
you could find kind of a little nugget, but it was basically just like we've always had everybody has their own lane. Like I know people who are, champions of, one of our good friends, Nordista Freeze from Nashville.
Love him, man.
He's a champion of the indie artist. Like his whole thing is like, I'm gonna be independent. This is what I do. At least that's what he is for now. Like, and then best friends of ours, Soup Kink. Their whole thing is like,
I don't know that.
they're an amazing punk band in Atlanta. Yeah, dude, they're our best friends. We play with them all the time.
Soup Kink.
I mean, they record in their house, they're a garage punk band. That's what they do. For us, we mentioned it off air before the show, like Queen,
love it.
The Beatles, Elton John, Oasis. To me, what a lot of those bands have in common is like they're big productions.
Yes.
They're big, they're full.
And they kind of have the look too, if that makes sense.
Exactly, all of them. They have a look
very
to match.
distinct style and look.
Exactly, That's their own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you guys are already doing that because like you say, like the dressing up and stuff, like do it before you get recognized. Like I had a conversation with my band. It was like, hey, like name me a band that is like huge that doesn't have a look.
Yeah,
like it's literally impossible to do. Like Weezer or any of them, they all have it. You know what I mean? And it's cohesive. So very smart of you guys.
Well, and also it helps already. Like, but we just want to do that.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's
We're
great.
So inspired by those guys. Like, I mean, we played a festival in Milledgeville, and I mean, we came out looking like he had like these flower flowy bottoms on it. I had this like spandex for Deep River.
Oh, Deep River's a big deal down there,
that
right?
was so much fun.
That was a big deal.
Deep River's awesome.
One of my most iconic outfits.
We played with Perpetual Groove.
Oh, sick. Yeah. It's like a big deal down there in
And then I wore less like latex, like Freddie Mercury-esque.
Oh,
shit.
word.
It's just like we took
that shit off so quickly though. It was so hot. Oh my god.
I was like, get this off me. But yeah, it's just like it helps that it's very brandable, especially being brothers. We've seen it with Oasis. That's a very brandable thing.
Very brandable. Good storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean?
Everyone
pretend to hate each other.
They're attracted to a story at the end of the day.
Yes, you have to be telling one. You know what I mean?
You have to. That's all what art is. It's just storytelling.
A lot of bands miss that though. You know what I mean? Kind of like we're saying, like they don't get that side of it. They don't get that they need to look cohesive. Myself, even at points, it took me a while to realize, like, all right, there's got to be a storyline here. Like, it's not, hey, check out my new single.
Exactly. Like, you have to find. There's people like, if you ever see like America's Got Talent, or American Idol, like, they always show like the backstory of that one contestant, and that makes you root for them.
It's almost more important than the song they sing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So interesting.
I've always said like, I know we're good enough. Like when people find it, they're gonna dig it.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not be into rock and roll. That's your old prerogative.
Well, you guys thread a few needles from what I heard. I mean, there was one that was very Elton John-y.
We
like
do everything.
Yeah,
really.
Cool.
Like within, I call it power pop as the genre. But like for us, we understand. Once you get the door open to us, I think you'll dig it. But it takes so much work to get to the door. And so with branding, with kind of, you have to give people a reason to care, right?
For sure.
So we have people, we play Atlanta all the time. We want to play Athens more. We play, different things. And you have to give, even for returning people, like we think, let's play. We try and change the set every time.
Yeah,
different
every time.
Covers, different order of originals. Sometimes we leave out a big original. And
Okay.
But the cool thing is, it's cool for me when somebody's been coming enough and it's an unreleased song. And they're like, why didn't you play that?
Oh, that's the best.
That's cool because they remember it. They were calling it. They want to be here.
Yeah.
That was why we ended up making an album this year. That was not really our plan. But we played a show with two Nashville guys, Teddy at Night and Motherly Jet.
I don't know.
They're both really good.
Pretty good.
With Soup Kink as well. And
we
were playing, and I mean, most of the stuff we play is unreleased.
Yeah.
And we're playing these songs, and unreleased songs, people are shouting the lyrics.
That's hype, man. That's great.
And we looked at each other like we always kind of say we need to find, like, what's going to be the sign that that's the next step? And it was like, just consistently seeing people care.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to give anybody something if they don't care. But
exactly,
if it seems like there's a demand.
I see a lot of bands do that too, like making no sort of hype for the album, like just dropping an album.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I always say in my band, I'm gonna use a lot of examples from my band if that's okay.
Please
but
do.
I'm like,
take supremacy. Fuck
yeah. I'm like, I don't think you should just be able to drop an album if that makes sense. Like you should there should be a reason.
People deserve it.
You know what I mean?
I totally get you.
Yes, you know what I'm saying.
People deserve the sonic foreplay that comes with
Yes,
an album.
they do. They do. And it's important. And another thing I was thinking about this week, I was reading a book. What book was
Sonic
it? I like that.
I can't really make
keep going.
I can't really make fun. I can't really make fun of it because it's a perfect
it
thing
works.
to say right
it works.
there.
I mean, add it to the dictionary.
Was it jarring? Yeah, but are we gonna keep going? Also, yeah.
I
Hype
love it.
for an album, they'll call it sonic foreplay.
I like that, man. Singles are just sonic foreplay.
But even like
Writing it down. Write that down.
That's
like,
keeper.
But like even some, because people will be like, if Taylor Swift does it or Eminem, even those people, you're like, I would have liked the promo rollout.
Yes.
Even though you can do it, right?
They could surprise drop it.
You're gonna do it, and it's gonna do really well because you're you. Even those people, I think some of them do it as like a flex to be like, oh, I'm dropping an album tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like if I like you, I'm a fan of you. Like if Oasis came and just dropped an album tomorrow, first of all, I would cry and throw up.
I'd be so happy.
But I want to see the whole like
storyline,
the
kind
video.
of, right?
I want to see the boys come back together. I want to see that.
Yes.
To get me even more hyped, to know the story, to feel like I know where you're at these days.
Exactly. And like when the singles are getting better, or like even if you barely liking the singles, you're like, oh, this album is gonna be sick, on single 3.
It should be treated like any box office movie where it's like they have like the sneak peak and then you have the official trailer,
the big trailer,
and then you have some clips come out, and it's like you got these people like on the edge of their seat,
creating demand for it,
Correct.
And whether it lives up to the hype, oh well. I mean, at least you. And I think just like putting out 10 songs like just immediately is like honestly like a kind of like a waste of content. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like there's a whole run there that you can do.
I totally agree.
And I think that there's a middle ground. Like I think that these days it's pretty much impossible to just release one single then put out an album. I don't really think. I think like you said, there's too much opportunity there.
Exactly.
To kind of catch people's attention, to kind of brand a thing, but. For us, it is very important that like this is a 13-track record we're doing.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot, man.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
And we're gonna release 2 of them were already released before we announced it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do the one we just did, Bye Bye Love, and then 2 more. So that makes 5 singles. But I don't want more than that at a certain point. Like I do want you to have that album experience. Like,
exactly. Like you still should have a pretty even amount of singles or probably a little leaning towards album size. So it seems like a lot because there's a few bands. I don't love it, but like I don't hate it. Like there's a few bands in town that have done. I think it was 6 singles, and then there was only 2 new ones on the album. And I was like,
that's not it for me.
I don't know. Like
I've already heard it.
I want a little more.
The experience.
Yeah. But I mean, it worked out nice for them. They did viral and everything.
A lot of people. I saw something on. Him and my girlfriend both got me on TikTok finally. So
I love it.
I was like not doing it.
Yeah.
And I've gained some interesting things. But one thing I disagreed with some lady on is she was like, when you're doing an album release, just release every song throughout the month and then release the whole. I was like, no, that's not.
Yeah, it like takes away from the prize.
You get to sit there. Sense. First of all, I love on that record on the shirt you're wearing right now. Zenyatta Mondano.
That's actually my favorite Police record. I think it's the most cohesive.
I also
honestly,
think that.
I used to like the synchronicity, but now I'm on the rock.
I don't think it's as cohesive.
I keep doing that, dude. Lately, I've been saying on the rocks when I mean to say on the fence.
on the rock. It works, brother.
I think it's Jameson. I think it's also because I've been reading that poster. I keep saying on the rock. I mean on the fence. It works.
We'll take it. Keep it.
That or synchronicity, I'm like on the fence about. I'm on the rocks about. I'm on the rocks about.
I love both of them. I just always thought that this was the most like the one that sounds.
It's
like
the most cohesive album.
Yeah,
I think some of my favorite tracks are on the synchronicity, but as a cohesive album, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, we play as a trio live. That's gonna change because when we made the record, there's just too much going on.
Yeah, to sonically reproduce it, right?
With just 3 people, but right now we do play as 3, and that's our trio
template
that we look to.
Oh, I love it. Well, damn, I made a good call putting the shirt on today, man. I love it.
Those are our guys. But
they're the best.
Basically, it's just the other thing about a record too is like I want to sit down and listen to a record and the best song had not maybe been a single.
Yeah, the sleeper,
Oh, yeah. Like, oh my God, how was this not a single in a good way?
Exactly, yes. I know what you mean. I guess it's tough to hold on to those sometimes or maybe
is hard.
not know
also
what you
like
have.
when there's a good enough song that wasn't a single, like I can't remember what happened with it. There always seems to be when there's an album coming out, it always seems like there's the one song that wasn't a single that seems to catch too.
Like
and then the
hook.
band makes a video and it's surprising. It's gonna be fun to see what that is for us.
Yeah, like I think that's great. I love the whole like B-side thing. Like
Me too.
Like Oasis is notorious for like having really good B-sides. I'm sure you know it's like Acquiesce and songs like that.
Should have been on the album. It would have
like,
made it like
literally would have been a #1 hit, but he just used it as a B-side.
Tell you right now,
I think that's cool.
What's the Story? Morning Glory's B-sides had been on and that whole record's already perfect.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Let's just say there was a couple that they took out and replaced, or not even that. If they took the B-sides from What's the Story and Definitely Maybe, they would have had 5 #1 hit records.
Yeah, for real, man. It was
mean,
like he was just on one,
too, but,
he was just on one and just used them all up, kind of.
He was trying to be like the Beatles, like that.
Yeah, I like it though. That's what I'm saying though. Is like when you have a sleeper B-side per se. And I know B-sides don't really exist anymore.
Yes, they do. Yes,
album
they do.
track.
Manifest it.
I want to bring back like people putting out when they put out singles, put out 2, your main single and then one behind it. Like together,
I
like
agree.
a duo of.
Well, I don't know if you know who the Lemon Twigs are.
I do not.
They're amazing. They're from. I don't want to get it wrong. I think Long Island. They're pretty big though. They're like the musicians band. You should check them out. They're amazing. It's
what was the name again?
They're called the Lemon Twigs. It's like Todd Rundgren, Foxygen, Beach Boys, Beatles.
Okay.
But they are like super retro. Like you think we're retro? Like they are literally everything they do, the way they dress, the way they promote is so like punk, like 70s.
Sweet.
But they've got they did a string of singles where it was like the single was like I don't remember, but the B-side was called Tailor Made.
Okay.
And it would be the single / Tailor Made.
I like
and
that.
Have them, and that would be on the album cover.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's cool.
Really
you could say side A, side B.
Yeah, we might do that on the second album.
You guys should do that because, like, and then again, it takes some heat off. Like, when you put your single out, you want it to be the best or whatever, or whatever is most trying to represent. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff that not necessarily single, but I would love to put out now, whatever. Sure. Like you could do it with, and it's not so serious if that makes sense.
Absolutely. You could just do it because you think it's a good, I really think when we're already talking about our second
No,
album.
Go ahead.
But like when we do our second record, I mean, I just write so much. I've got hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Wow. Hundreds.
Just because I just can't not be writing.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I probably got 280 that I could just,
Sheesh,
if I went in the studio, we could figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's way too many to I'm not going to be able to put all those on records. So you might as well just make a B-side and it maybe won't be on the album, but
that'd be cool though, because nobody does that. That'd be just like a cool little there's that one that was
going
on the
in
record.
here. We'll do it.
I'm telling you, man, everybody chalk that up.
Yeah.
So let's kind of back up a little bit. I want to get a little more context, I guess, on how you guys got started. When did you guys actually start playing together as a band? I know you've known each other for a while, but when did you start actually doing the music thing as a pair of
brothers? You want to grab it first, and I'll close it out.
Well, we've been playing music since I can remember. I remember I've always wanted to play drums since I was in 3rd or 4th grade because I'd be tapping on the desk and the teacher would be like, stop that.
I used to do all this.
Exactly. I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
And so I've always wanted to play the drums. And then my brother always wanted to he was always a good singer and always wanted to play guitar. So as I was learning how to play drums and as he was learning to play guitar and singing, we decided to join a talent show for 8th grade.
Okay.
And
so we started young.
So we started
really early,
young, 8th grade. So it was me, my brother, and one of our good friends, Auburn.
Okay.
And
shout out Auburn.
Shout out to Auburn Wiseman.
She helped co-write the new single, by the way.
Oh,
she did.
Okay.
She's an OG. We love you, Auburn.
Still in touch. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So, it was us 3 for that talent show, and we obviously performed one song. It was a 5 Sauce cover, and we won.
Permanent Vacation.
You won?
And we won the talent show, and then we were like, "Wow!" So people we make decent.
Yeah.
Music.
It was so
There's potential.
bad.
It was really bad. It was so bad.
But it was just good enough that we were like,
well, also
we hit the chorus at the same time.
You won.
Yeah,
you won.
Some context. This is a private Christian school talent show.
Okay.
So it didn't take much to be
That's where it's all
first place.
Yeah.
But we ran with it. First place, we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna make something out of this. So we started creating a band and we started, writing our own stuff and looking out for gigs and stuff. And that's kind of how the band was created.
In 8th grade?
In 8th grade,
Wow.
all the way
We
through high
started really
school.
young.
And our
That's
first
impressive.
band name was called Aquashade. And you can tell behind the name of that if you wanted to hear.
Well, First of all, he basically just summed it up. I think it was really funny though. A couple things like at a private Christian school. First of all, the talent show is like the peak of any musician's. Like it was just so much fun, and we've never gotten hype pretty much ever since that like that hype. Gosh. They were like, "You guys were amazing."
I was on the moon.
Nobody's ever supported us like that school did that day.
Let's go, man. I love that.
But basically, it was like we made the band. And we did just well enough to win, but just bad enough to be like, all right, we got to get better.
Okay. Just bad enough. Just bad enough.
But we were like, dude, we don't have any equipment. We had I mean, we're kids.
Yeah.
I was a 9th grader. He was an 8th grader. And she was, I think, 11th grade, 10th grade. And, we live in the same house. We were like, my dad, I guess, had a restaurant that was closing down, and or I think he was opening one, and the other place was closing. Long story short, they gave us all this PA for free, the old place.
Oh, word!
So we had our whole. I was like, okay, well, we've got a rehearsal space, and my dad owns restaurants. We were able to get our start really early, like playing live in 9th grade, like the summer going into 9th grade for him.
It worked perfectly because. As in 8th grade, we were forming the band, and then my dad's restaurants.
8th, I was 9th, so it was high school.
Exactly. Our dad's restaurants was like a perfect like stomping ground to like start gigging out, and like there wouldn't be that many people in the restaurant, but it was a great way to just get out there and play live.
Yeah, like just get going.
So it was a perfect storm where we had a dad that like basically had built-in venues at his restaurants. We found this equipment, so it was a good perfect storm to like make something out of it.
But the cool thing about him was like he was never one of these like, oh, go play, it'll be great, and then like. Whisper like, I know these guys aren't good, but they're my kids.
Exactly.
He took me aside after the talent show. He was like, hey, that was really good.
Yeah.
I never heard you guys play, whatever. He's like, how would you like to play that? It was a pretty big festival looking back at it. Because we were like the opener, but it was like huge.
That was nuts.
And so it was our first real gig. It was like in front of like 200 people.
What? That's a lot.
Weird.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Now looking back,
I don't know why we did that, but he basically said, he was like, I'm not going to let you do this if I don't think you guys are ready.
Yeah.
So that was really like, he's never not shot us straight. Like,
which is priceless. That's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
but he's also supportive, so, he's the dadager kind of call him. So,
I love that. Love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of just piggybacking off what he said, we did that. And then we both just kind of, we were always good, but there's something that clicked, I think, as we were just playing those shows. And then, we were named something else in the talent show, and then I was just trying to figure out a name, and I don't really remember how the Aqua Shade name came about, but we were like super alt poppy at the time.
Yeah, okay.
It was like a mix of punk pop, a little bit like we do some Green Day stuff.
Yeah.
I wrote immediately when we started the band, I knew what my passion was. It was the songwriting piece of it all.
Okay.
I like playing live because I'm playing my songs.
Yeah.
And I'm playing covers I like that inspire me to write my own songs. But that like I'm a songwriter first.
That makes sense.
Definitely.
A lot of people have trouble realizing that, or finding their, thing first. Yeah, that's good for you to know.
Yeah.
So you immediately started writing?
Immediately.
Oh, that's awesome.
So our very first gig, we played an original.
Oh, really?
But
that's impressive too.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it was one song. That's all we did, and everything else was covers. Yeah. And it was actually an okay song.
Yeah?
I mean,
what was it? Illusion of Perfection?
No, that was A Little Time. Remember that?
A Little Time.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Melody still there.
Still there. You can remember it.
Yeah, that's good.
We could do a badass version. Yeah, that was good.
Bring it back, brother.
So we did that, and then we were kind of just essentially Aquashade was just me documenting my pop punk / 1975 phase.
Okay.
So we did a lot. It's online if you ever want to listen to it.
I will.
Aquashade is like super poppy.
I'll check
the cool
it out.
thing is, a lot of people it's a privilege that like we get to say our old stuff, like where we started, isn't what we do now, but it's not bad. Like it's still as good. People still love that stuff.
That's great.
Which is cool. So you can, listen to hear where we came from. And I think what we do now is much better, but it's still well produced, really well produced. We've never not done that. We've always paid for.
Yeah. And what was the not logic behind that, but like, I guess that was just an important thing to you guys. Like, let's make sure sonically this is where it should be.
Well, my dad, again, was kind of super involved in us. And he kind of was like, he's a businessman. He thinks logistically. And for him, he would have rather helped front us some money to make that first EP. And it worked because we were able to use that and build and meet people. Had it not been done well, what's the point?
Exactly, yeah.
Because he saw right away, we want to do this as a career.
Yeah.
And so he's like, this is worth it then to put
Good
the money
investment.
towards it. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Having somebody on your team like that is huge. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the dadager or the
The
momager.
dadager, exactly,
I
yeah.
had the
You
momager
need it.
for a while. So
Yeah,
it's
you
great.
need
Yeah.
it. You
You
need
need
it.
it.
Absolutely. dude.
Yeah.
Especially when you're growing up, nobody knows you like them. They can help support you financially in ways that
Yes.
some people might not.
And at this time, are you guys are living in Woodstock?
We were
at the
living in
time?
Woodstock.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So how was it like being 30 minutes from Atlanta? You said, what was it like growing up there and being like at least near a music scene, right?
Sure.
Is that
There's
good?
something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other piece of it. So we made Aqua Shade and we did that show. And then Mad Life, we were talking about it earlier, had this thing called the Undiscovered Artist Showcase.
Okay.
I have a lot of problems with Mad Life, but they might hate me for saying that, whatever, it's fine.
They'll be fine.
But the Undiscovered Artist Showcase is a gem, and I hope they never lose it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be popular. You don't have to be super good. You could just show up every Wednesday. They don't pay you, but you play in front of people.
It's great.
Every Wednesday.
That's great. I
So
love
we
that.
pretty much did it every
Yeah.
single Wednesday. We
Oh,
would just
really?
show up and
A long
the
time.
best part about it is you couldn't play a cover.
Ooh.
You had to play original music.
Interesting.
So-
That's a hot take from them.
I'll
Cool.
never forget when we first played it. I was like, "Oh my god, I only have one original."
Yeah.
So I wrote one the night before because I had to.
Okay.
And it was
Word.
terrible. It was the all right song. Remember? Oh. Anyways,
Let me go purge my memory.
but we had to play it, and then we do it next week. And I was already writing. I kind of got the bug at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. I kind of like being away from the city a little bit. You kind of just, you can kind of focus on yourself, do your own thing.
Yeah. Me too.
And then go up there and gig when you need to gig.
exactly.
It gives you like a separate storyline too. Like I actually had Freeze Nordista on the podcast the other day. He's from Nashville. He's like being from Nashville. Like my storyline, like there isn't one. Like everybody's from
Yeah.
Nashville making music or whatever.
True.
Like
Yeah.
everybody's story's the same here. So you guys being from Woodstock, close to Atlanta,
Get your own thing.
You got your own thing going on. That's
Yeah.
great. I think that's cool.
And also, I think in general, there's like with Soup Kink, that band, because we go to hang out with them all the time. They're also from around there. They're like
Yeah.
10 minutes away.
Word.
And it's cool that really we are two of like, I'm not saying it because it's us, but I really think we are two of our favorite Atlanta groups, and we're both outside of Atlanta, which is cool.
Yeah, on the edge.
So it's like that scene's kind of building in a weird way.
Let me ask you about Atlanta because I asked Calico because some similar things when they were on here. What do you guys like think about the scene out there? It's such a bigger thing, I guess. It's kind of hard to get a grasp on as somebody who's not there, like because Athens is not that, but close. So tell me about it a little bit.
It's weird. I mean, I also think the scene has changed so much from, because like I said, we've been playing since we were young. So like we started playing in 2016, 2017, and it was very metal, very like every show we seemed to play was like metal bands. That seemed to be
I've
the
always
thing.
kind of thought of it as like the hard rock metal thing in a way. Like
Yeah.
there's
The
that
hardcore
side
metal
of it at
scene
least.
still for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
hip hop also. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like, it's weird. It's definitely hip hop, and I think it's most known for hip hop outside of the state.
When it comes to like the major artists, like major hip hop artists are from Atlanta and
Like
stuff.
most
You know what
of
I mean?
them, right?
But when it comes to like the rising kind of music scene, it's definitely like
But it's
hard
but
rock
what's
metal.
cool
Okay.
is
Okay.
what's cool these days is like with the internet too. It's like a visual representation of the internet where if you don't like rock, you don't have to listen to it. You can
Yeah.
Listen
Go
to
to
hip-hop.
another side.
right.
and it's kind of like that with shows. Like we just don't hear much about the hip hop scene because we're not in it.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
so but I mean, right now seems to be the best time since 27 since we've been around. This is the best scene for Atlanta. You've got
That's great.
Strumbrush, Pinto Sunshine, Soup Kink,
Yeah.
us.
I've heard of Pinto Sunshine. I hear they're really
and
good.
yeah, they're really great.
Yeah.
Dope.
And that interview you watched, Kapoor House,
Uh-huh.
he is really great. He basically is just an account for like showing when Atlanta bands are playing and,
Oh, that's dope.
and bringing them to the kind of Atlanta
He's basically
people.
like a house show connoisseur. He just goes to as many house shows, does interviews,
shows in
reviews.
general.
You
kind
guys
of-
mentioned that on there, like the house show thing is like a thing in
Yeah.
Atlanta,
Oh,
right?
big
very
time,
much
big
so.
time, big time.
Huge thing.
There was that house that just closed down. What was the name of that place?
is it
Everybody's playing there.
Yellow House or Big, maybe, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. It just closed down. But anyways, tell me
I don't
about the
know.
house scene a little bit. I'm kind of
So
curious about this.
we're kind of not really a house show band. Like what I
Okay.
told you earlier, like our production's a certain thing. Our sound is like, when you're doing a house show, like specifically because ballads are really important to us, like, ballads and slow songs and melody and composition is very important to me. That kind of stuff, like at house shows, everybody just
It's
wants
like
to mosh.
energy, yeah.
They want to
like
mosh. They want
pure
energy.
yeah.
And we can definitely curate a set to do that.
Yeah.
But it's not really 100% the Corduroy Blue, if that makes sense. So
Oh yeah.
we go to them all the time.
Yeah.
And Soup Kink are like the kings of it.
Are they?
They're the best house show band I've ever seen.
They're very good.
But that's like where they thrive, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we love it, and but there seems to be one every weekend. You could
Seems like it,
you
right?
could go every weekend and
Yeah.
find one. I mean, we just played our first one with Calico. That's kind of how we met them.
Yeah, that's great.
But it wasn't even. It was outside. But and I guess maybe we seem to be really well received. So maybe we are a bit more of a house show band than I thought. But like when I bring my piano, I don't bring my piano to stuff like that because that's more of the kind of, Billy Joel, Elton John, ABBA.
Yeah.
That's not really a house show vibe.
Maybe like Smith's Old Bar and like bars and stuff,
Smith's
right?
Old Bar.
Like full production
Yeah,
places
exactly.
where they
Vinyl
want to
Center
hear.
stage or things like that.
Interesting. Have you guys played a lot of those places? I imagine. Like, what's you guys' go-to spots in Atlanta as you started playing? And
you
now?
said it perfectly. Smith's Old Bar is like most
spot.
like when we like. If we say we have a show, people almost assume it's at Smith's Old Bar.
Yeah,
We've
'cause you
done
guys do a
so
lot.
many shows there.
Interesting.
Yeah, we love Vinyl Center Stage.
I've never been there. Is it cool?
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really cool.
Okay.
We played Masquerade.
Yeah.
not
sweet.
Purgatory.
Really not big fans.
Really?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I
Interesting.
think when it comes to like the bigger bands that play at Masquerade, they
Yeah.
take care of them. But when it comes to like these smaller up and coming bands, they really don't take great care of them.
I could see
Personally,
that. I could see that.
But
The
it was a
venue,
great
Purgatory,
experience.
I love Masquerade as a fan.
Yes, as
Yeah.
a goer, I love the Masquerade.
As
Okay.
an artist from when we've been there, I'm sure Heaven and Hell, like you say, are great.
Hell's cool.
Just the payment's not very good. Like
Yeah.
the amount of work we have to do for what we receive, and
Gotcha.
and they're also the kind of thing, like I'm sure you've run into this where like somebody will hit you up, be like, "Yo, like, I want you to open up for this band. They're really great. They've got like 100,000 monthly listeners,
Yeah.
or 200,000." You're like, "Oh, that's cool."
Sweet.
But they're from like Kentucky.
Yeah.
Totally cool, man. Like they could probably sell out huge venues in Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
But when they come here,
no one.
they have a hard time doing that.
They need you guys,
Which is
to do
fine.
that.
Literally,
but tell me
literally.
that, because now I'm thinking we're gonna gain some fans, not realizing we have to do all the pull,
Interesting.
and then they're making more money because
Yeah.
they're the headliner.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
So it's like
gotcha.
the money system's weird. We've not had great experience with the sound quality as far as our sound,
Isn't
and
it-
then we have to bring out all the people, and we don't get really the reward for that.
We
So
did
it's
it-
a mixture of all that, which is kind of
We did a gig. It wasn't
Frustrating.
at
I know what
Masquerade,
you
but
mean.
the guy who booked us, basically, long story short, the band, the headliner, didn't draw like they were supposed to.
Gotcha.
And us and the other band drew decently,
Yeah.
but we didn't really think we had to because they're like a big band.
Yeah.
And we didn't get paid
Uh-huh.
because the other band was promised a certain amount.
Ooh. Okay.
And he couldn't fulfill it because the ticket sales weren't whatever.
Gotcha. Guarantees.
But like
and stuff.
we never got paid. So I
Oh,
ended up
man,
just
that's
hitting him
tough.
up being like, "Yo, like," and he was like, basically like, "Yeah, we had to take it out of your funds to pay the other band." I was like,
That's tough.
"Just
yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
that."
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So,
yeah,
no.
it's tough. I've got a lot of venues that I've enjoyed playing, but the business side of it, I'm not a fan. You know.
Yeah,
You know?
and,
I totally
and,
got
and
you.
you know
Yeah.
what? We
Some
can
of my
usually
favorites.
and we can usually overlook it
Uh-huh.
if the experience is fun
Right.
too. The
For sure.
experience wasn't great.
Gotcha.
So it's like
gotcha.
it just makes the business side amplified.
Have you guys ever done? I've been interested in doing this place, Aisle 5.
Yes, we
I've never
love
been there.
Aisle 5.
Aisle 5's
we
cool.
played once. It was
Yeah.
so cool.
We're gonna be
Little
back
5
there.
Points is awesome. Little 5
Yeah.
Points area.
Isn't that like Star Bar?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Aisle 5 though. That's one of our
Super
favorites.
cool.
We're playing there August 26th
Sweet,
with a
man.
band called Jive Talk from Nashville.
I've heard of Drive Talk. They're
Yeah.
sick. They've done
Yeah.
Athens a few times.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Excited about that.
Well, sweet. I'll try to come out. I've never been to Aisle 5.
Yeah,
and
please
I've
come
heard
out
a lot
to that,
about
man.
it. Is it smaller or bigger than Smith's Old Bar? About the same.
Well, there's two different rooms in Smith's.
Yeah,
the
there's
downstairs
upstairs.
room.
I
This
would
is
say
bigger than I
It-
think
it's
this is-
bigger.
but it's
okay.
not bigger than upstairs.
I think
Definitely
it
not.
is.
No way. No
It was like a freaking Catholic church in there.
No, Smith's Old Bar
It
upstairs
was
is like
tall.
yeah, but that's not talking about capacity.
tall.
Like, what are you gonna do?
Me-
Fit people
me
this
saying
way?
Shaq.
Like, that doesn't do anything.
I love it.
It is
I know,
tall.
but
I don't think
it
it's not
was-
gonna fit more
It was also
people.
wide though.
It was.
I don't know. Maybe
I think it's 150 cap room.
Okay.
200. Smith's upstairs is like 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say Smith's upstairs is pretty
We played
big.
with the Stews up there for New Year's Eve.
I
That was-
love the stews.
that
Stews
was a
are
good
cool.
time.
They're, you
Shout
guys
out,
actually,
homies.
you guys have a song. I wrote "Give Me Love." Almost gives me a Stews vibe.
Yep. Oh,
almost
yeah.
got a Stews
Okay.
vibe
Yeah.
every second.
It's
Yeah.
rock and roll. Yeah.
And that's a
can
huge
see that.
Stu's literally like my favorite band right now. So that's
Yeah, they're
great.
great,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
Very cool. Aren't you guys playing with them somewhere?
We are playing Newgroundfest in September.
Okay, where's
shout
that
out
at?
to Tyler from Newgroundfest.
Shout out.
the man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you for that
But
opportunity.
I really appreciate
We're
it.
playing. It's to me. He'll poo-poo me for saying this, but it really is probably one of our biggest opportunities. We're playing with Flip Turn, the Nude Party.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Stews, Nordista Freeze.
Lineup.
Who else is on that gig? Future Crib.
Nude Party is huge.
Yeah, Nude Party.
I'm so excited. We're playing, and there's really good bands like Daddy's Beamer and Connor Kelly and the Time Warp the day before us.
Okay.
But all those bands I just mentioned are on the same day as us.
That's awesome.
So,
that's great. Yeah,
can't
cool.
wait.
And it's in Knoxville, Tennessee.
It's in Knoxville.
Sweet. Well, good for y'all. Is that how did that come about in the way of like you guys are just looking for gigs out of town and it happened?
Well, you could probably tell by me messaging you. I'm kind of like
Zeroed in.
Yeah, I'm zeroed in, man. I
like
just get
that.
on my laptop, get my coffee, and just. I mean,
That's
I
the
think
best
we're
thing to
good
do.
enough. So I would.
Yeah.
I just want to spend my time making sure people can, hear it. And
Yeah. Well, that's great. I think that's smart, and nobody's gonna do it for you.
yeah, exactly.
usually.
Might as well
Yeah.
do it myself. And also,
Yeah.
it's like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah,
if this
yeah.
is what I care about. So, basically, long story short, I don't remember how I messaged Nordista when "Gimme Love" came out. And we had a great correspondence, and then we've kept in touch ever since. And then, when our song "Wonder Man" came out in January, we were on his podcast.
Okay, sweet.
And so we kind of just connected really well. All of us, our photographer was there. We all got along really well.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then he played the Earl in March, and just super sweetly added us to the bill
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
with
wonderful.
him, Daddy's Beamer, and us. And it went really well. Anyways, the guy who runs Newgroundfest
Okay.
was, I believe, was Nordista's tour manager.
Word.
Tyler.
Okay.
And so I met Tyler at the gig. We got along great. And then when we got home, I made a point to remember that he did that festival. And that festival had Illiterate Light and Bristol Maroney the past year.
Wow.
So I was like, definitely want to get on that.
Yeah, big deal. Big
so
deal.
I messaged him and I was like, hey man, because for me, when you're doing a festival, if you're a festival booker, if you get a really good small local band to be at the bottom of your bill, what do you lose?
Yeah.
It's not like you're betting on that band that you can barely see in the print to bring the people out anyways.
Yeah.
So what do you
It's
lose?
literally 12 noon, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nobody's
We're just
there.
a good band, and it's good press to even be on the
It's
poster.
a great look, It's
Yeah.
it's a great not guilt by association, but association.
opposite, yeah.
You know
With
what I
those-
mean?
Correct.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
correct. I mean, we have people coming because they see the Nude Party and our name on the same bill.
That's enough reason to go. Kind of like I don't know if you saw the Stews did 420 Fest.
Yes.
you know?
I went to Fort. They
Did
were
you?
Snarky Puppy was
Yeah.
on that thing.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
we're looking at doing it.
What's
You
the
guys
band?
could do
What's
it.
the band with Stuart Copeland? The new band there.
Oysterhead.
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
Oysterhead. They literally were in the same festival as
That's
Stuart
so cool,
Copeland,
And they literally played first, and
Yes.
they booked a whole tour around it, kind of like the road to 420
Yeah,
Fest. That's
exactly.
smart, and you kill it. They killed it, and I think from what I've talked to Preston about it, they're gonna have them back next year on a later
Wow.
slot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
That's
so
how you do
cool.
it. Yeah, even Shaky Knees would be freaking awesome.
Oh
you
my
know?
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you're the small band. Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely could. And we've got some you've obviously heard of Lunar Vacation. Or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, but I mean, they go to Georgia State.
I didn't know that.
We're a year or two behind that, but we just get on that lower slot. What do they lose?
Yeah, that's
'Cause I
kind
know
of
we're a good band.
That seems to be the name of the game. Is kind of like getting on the lower slots, trading shows, getting on the
Sure,
bill with
yeah.
Nordista,
Yeah. Doing whatever
getting
you
the
can.
bill, and just building your resume out to be like, all right, this guy is a consistent opener that appears to be selling tickets and
Yeah.
impressing acts and venues.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you start, leveling up.
Building
It
up,
seems
yeah.
like,
Correct.
yeah. So very cool that you guys are on that. Other than that, what tour plans do you guys have? Are you guys playing a lot live, or is it mostly recording work?
We're almost done with recording. I got to go in tomorrow and actually wrap it up.
Sweet.
The guitar on a couple of things. Then we'll be done recording, which would be really cool.
Okay. That's huge.
And basically, yeah, thanks, man. It's been a lot of work, but
Journey.
really, it's really proud of it. It's the most proud of anything I've ever done. I'm sure he feels the same way.
Yeah.
It's
Very,
a
very
beautiful
Good for
record.
y'all,
I think
man.
it's like I kind of describe it as when I was 16 into power pop and rock and roll and the Beatles, the record I wished had come out.
Oh,
To have been my
that's great.
inspiration. So
Good for you, man.
anyways, we're kind of doing each single. We're doing a single, then a little run.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw on our Instagram, we promoted the Bye Bye Love mini tour.
That's cool. I think
And
that's
so
smart.
we've got 4 shows in August.
Okay.
Then we're going to take a break. for a couple weeks, or not even a couple weeks. We'll take a break after the end of August, start promoting the next single, which is my favorite song on the album.
Okay.
I think that's the one.
What's the name of that one?
It's called Dreams and Nightmares. Remember that one, guys.
It's coming, you guys. It's coming.
That's the one, in my opinion. That's like Prince Purple Rain style vibe.
Oh, sweet.
So
man.
I can't wait for that. So we'll do that, and then I'm in the process right now of booking September dates.
Yeah.
Or September, October dates for that. And then we'll put the third single out probably the first week of November.
Okay.
And then we'll just promote the album super heavy. It comes out on November 11th, 11/11.
Sweet.
Which is
man.
National
Sweet.
Corduroy Day, which is
Ah,
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Storyline.
Yeah,
Storyline.
And
Yes.
then we're just going to try and gig out.
Okay.
Just
So I guess that's what I'm asking is like maybe like I'm gonna bring up Stu's a lot because I liked him a lot. Like they've gone on the way of just like play every fucking weekend, like go out there and do it. But you guys, on the other hand, like your socials look better than theirs in the way of like, have you guys tried to like? Some bands approach it like that, like they build their socials up, look really good, try to make content that works, and then when you go to the cities, you sell tickets, and you've never played there, Right. Are you guys trying that approach, or is it just a matter of time before you're like, all right, we're playing every weekend, and we're going to go out there?
My approach is, from what I've seen to the Stews, they just seem to sell tickets.
Yeah, for sure.
They seem to really have gotten their, they were at Auburn, I believe, from what I've heard. They just played the party scene, and like when we played with them in New Year's Eve, and you could tell that was like the vibe, like, all these kids from Auburn and in different colleges, they seem to play to the college towns really well. And I don't really know how they kind of got to the point where they could go around the world and around the country
out.
and sell tickets, but we're not there yet. I think I'd surprise us by seeing who would come out, but I don't think we're there yet. So the approach for us would be to a couple of different things I have in mind is either Collective Soul, the 90s band.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Has been instrumental in us getting this record done.
Oh, really?
They're like mentors of ours, good friends.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Shine, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
Great song. Great song.
And Will Turpin, the bass player of that band, is the owner of the studio we record at. They cut us a production deal and the whole thing.
Well, that's great.
So
that's
the
great.
goal is to kind of put our heads together with him, be like, hey, do you know any bands? Do you guys need an opener on some slots?
Gotcha.
So the main thing I want to do is stay here, stay regional, but like as different bigger acts come through, just play like 4 dates with them.
Gotcha.
Then
Little
another
runs.
one comes in, another 4 dates. We just kind of line it all up.
That's smart.
And then we go from there in the summer and play all these festivals that I'm trying to book. And then maybe in the fall we kind of do our own thing because we've been on all these different opening dates.
I think that's very wise, a very smart way to go about it. I've recently had a come to Jesus moment with like realizing that the way I'm touring is probably not the wisest almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we just went out and like played Thursday through Sunday every weekend. And it was like, all right, well, we're not gonna. I don't know if have you guys ever been to the Cobra in Nashville? You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it, but
I've heard of it. I've never been though.
It's like a very like 90 cap little place, and like we like packed it out with the local bands the first time, and I was like, all right, we could do this forever and nothing would happen. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, lesson learned here. Need to make some changes. But I think that's very smart. Anything you can do to get on like with the acts that have management companies and like Atlas Touring. You know what I mean?
Really, yeah,
that
we know
helps a
them, and
lot.
I've actually reached out to them, and I'm in touch with them and all that. So it's basically like that. It's I don't think we're gonna play. We need to get in front of more people. So I'm not content with, love the TCB lovers. They're called
TCB. I love that.
Yeah, but love you guys, and we love when they come out to shows. But we just need to keep growing and keep moving. And the best way to do that is by opening up for these bigger bands.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's smart.
I'd rather do that than try and make a tour happen.
When there's no demand, like you're going to be forced into playing like 3-hour cover bar situations, which we've done.
It's not going to work out. Losing a lot of money.
Yeah,
time,
for sure. I'm going to take a second to thank my other show sponsors. That's cool with you guys.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I want to thank our second show sponsor of the day, and it is No Athens. You guys ever heard of No Athens?
I have not.
They're a platform out of right here in Athens, Georgia. They're like on Instagram and everything right now, but they're expanding or working on it. And you guys it'd be good for you guys to team up with them if you have interest in getting in Athens.
Cool.
I can send you their number and everything.
Please do.
They're making this great content for like all the bands. Like they'll promote shows for bands, like literally just for free, and like spread the word on band stories, like storyline stuff. They have like a full system where they post every show in Athens bi-weekly, so like it'll literally be like 75 shows they got to curate. And they're great, they're talented, they've been a good supporters of the show. I appreciate them. Shout out No Athens.
Shout out No Athens.
Yes.
Thank you, No Athens.
Yes, go give them a follow.
I will, and we'll be in touch because we definitely want to play Athens more.
You guys should. Have you ever done it?
We've played Nucci
times.
Space once for a UGA music business thing.
Yeah, I love UGA music business. Great.
And then we did
41?
The one that I
Flickr.
wasn't at.
Flickr.
Flickr, yeah.
He wasn't there. That was weird
Yeah.
to play without him. That was
First
so
Corduroy Blue
strange.
show, I was not there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't want to make that a habit, but it was
No.
but it
I
was
don't know.
fun.
I was definitely doing something.
Yeah, you were. We had already
worthwhile.
booked it. We had already booked it. It's like
Yeah.
I would
I think
never
I was
book
like,
something
I-
if he wasn't available.
Yeah.
But
Something
Gotcha.
like, I think my play or
it was
like
was
that.
weird. It was like
I think you guys would do great at 40 Watt Club. You guys
oh,
are
I would
great.
love it. So
Oh, that would be
we
fun.
played Flickr
Yeah.
with Easy Honey.
Oh, Easy Honey's
That
good.
was a really fun
Aren't they an
time.
Atlas act?
Yes, they are.
They're dope.
Yeah, that was so
Sweet.
much fun. They're amazing live too. That's one of my favorite bands we played with. So Pete, I'll see you guys at Newground.
Love that.
Um,
Love that. Yeah. I hear a lot about them.
They're really great. They're really nice guys too. We just had a good chill time, and
Yeah.
we were gonna play 40 Watt, open up for somebody, and it didn't work out. But yeah, hey, listen, anybody who's trying to book opening acts will bring the energy.
Yeah,
you know,
I
so-
believe it. No, we're gonna put something together. I'm excited. I can put you in touch with Bradley Reeves at 40 Watt. He's their
Yeah,
booking guy.
right on,
He'll
yeah.
book you guys immediately.
I mean-
especially if you guys think you could do some tickets at Athens. You know? What
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
definitely think we could bring for an opener slot.
Yeah, enough. Yeah.
bit, yeah.
I agree. And you got Flickr and Nucci Space. That's good on the track
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
If you guys decide to do somewhere else, there's this play. How long can you guys play for?
We can play forever.
Forever? 2 hours? Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, 3. We've done 3, 4.
We've done 3-4 hour gigs.
This is actually another sponsor of the show. I was going to get to it in a minute, but it seems
Do it now. It's
relevant
great.
now.
Let's
do it.
It's Clark Collective. They're downtown. You guys ever heard of it?
No.
No.
It's a bar. It's literally right next to the Georgia Theater if you've been
Oh,
there.
cool.
But they don't have a stage and they don't have sound, so that might be an issue for you. But
We've dealt with it all.
yeah, you've seen it. But it's a great place if you guys want to get into Athens and like get a rotating crowd of like people that'll just be passing through and will
Yep.
become fans. I've been trying to get everybody in there. I'll give you the guy's number if you're interested in.
Let's do it.
I think you get
Absolutely.
15% at the end of the night.
We
Nothing
bring our
crazy,
own
but
PA
yeah.
Very
everywhere.
cool.
We're-
Yeah, you guys would like it. I mean, I played there a couple times. We had some great solos.
Yeah.
So everybody check out Clark Collective.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
We're
Yeah.
going to
sick.
Opelika on the 19th, and it's like, I mean, they've got nothing.
What are you
in
doing?
there.
The pinball place?
It's
Rocker-
called Irish Bread Club, I think it's called. It's
I never heard of
It's
that.
just right near Auburn, but it's one of my dad's buddies owns it, and he
Okay.
hooks us up with a cool spot to stay afterwards.
I mean,
It's-
there's a good amount of Auburn people that go over to Opelika
Yeah,
and
totally.
hang out. That's what I
So,
hear. Yeah.
yeah, it'll be
Interesting.
fun. The pinball place does look dope.
I've heard.
That
I
is
think
cool.
you guys know Zix. You ever heard of them? ZYX.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they're an Atlanta band. I think they play
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Those are the homies.
Sick.
Yeah.
They
Interesting.
came to our show. When did we play that Velvet Willow and Ace Monroe thing? What was that, June?
Velvet Willow. That sounds familiar.
They're a good
at
rock
Smith-
and roll.
at
hard
Smith's
rock.
Old Bar?
Yeah, when was that? That was like
I
recent.
think that was June.
Yeah.
Do you guys always do upstairs
June.
at Smith's?
No, we usually
It varies.
Yeah.
I love doing upstairs. That's really my preference,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Much nicer stage and everything.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But we'll do any of them. I mean, when we do our album release, that's where we're gonna do it.
Oh,
'cause
good
that
for
feels
y'all.
full circle.
Yeah.
We'll do it
yeah.
upstairs at Smith's with Calico's. The goal.
Ah,
I already
nice,
told them we're
nice.
hoping that they hold the date,
Yeah.
and then hopefully Soup Kink, and then our producer Christopher Allen Yates. If you need anybody to produce your stuff,
Yeah.
that guy is
Well,
like.
what studio
he's
is
a
he in?
legend.
Or is he at
Well,
home?
he's pretty much kind of a freelance
Independent,
engineer
yeah.
producer. Like you have you have a space.
Uh-huh.
He'll come and make your stuff like
That's sick. That's
Magic.
cool.
He's awesome.
he lives in a bus.
He
He's
made this whole
tricked
record
it
for
out.
you guys?
Yeah, he did. We've got
sick.
Will Turpin from Collective Soul doing a few.
Okay.
We're really happy to. He did a lot of the
Piano
Will,
tracks.
Will did the
He's
piano
like really
tracks.
good
Yeah.
at like mastering, mixing, and manipulating the piano stuff. And then
MIDI.
we have Chris doing the guitar-based songs,
Yeah.
which is most of the album.
Well, that's smart. So
Yeah,
that's wise.
absolutely.
to
Will
split it
is
up.
the wizard of MIDI, so he's taking all the he's
The
doing all the
wizard of
keys, the keys. But Chris is, I mean, you talk about a guy that like will give you direction, but also let you do it yourself. And
Ooh, that's priceless.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, the
priceless.
dude is, and also he can do it all. Like he's his main job is like, from what I know, he's a live mixer, live engineer. So he's got
Okay.
an ear. He can hear random things. He takes the
Frequencies.
time. I mean, he'll go in and delete every pop. He'll do.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's
Fading and stuff.
yeah. I mean, everything. And he just works with you well. He tries to get the feel of the song. I mean, he's just great. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Well, I have another question for you. Let me think. What was I going to ask? I was going to ask. I want you to tell me a little more about your place in the whole thing. Like, you guys have been pretty equal, but like, I know where you're coming from with
Yeah.
the writing the songs and everything. Are you more
Right.
of like a live guy or as a drummer?
That's a good question
or-
because As of definitely this year, I've grown into my songwriting. That's something that like I've been wanting to do for a long time.
Okay.
But I didn't really know how to do it really. If I'm honest, like I just
as a drummer,
wasn't, I just wasn't really. That wasn't the muscle I worked. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
So this year I've really worked that muscle, and I write like some verses and some choruses, some songs that I just didn't like that well. But just recently I wrote like a song that
plays
I'm
keys
actually
really well, by the way.
Yeah,
Really?
I play keys, and that's how like I write songs, or like kind of dilly dally on the piano and stuff. But I've been like slowly getting into the songwriting
exciting,
stuff.
man.
But
Yeah,
and that's something I'm like excited to like delve into more. Is like my songwriting side.
So usually, I mean, I guess give me the. I mean, obviously you're saying you right now, but like for the usual Corduroy Blue song, do you usually write it,
Correct.
bring it in, and then
He's
you spice it up?
He's the songwriter, and I'm
Okay.
definitely I'm the drummer. I'm the percussion. I'm the rhythm
Arrangement
side.
stuff.
Arrangement for sure.
Yeah.
The big piece of it is too, like our sound does not work without harmony,
Okay.
and he's that constant.
Word.
And to the point
Yeah.
where he's actually we've got this cool new look too for the new eras. Like we're a normal band usually look wise, like you've got the bass player, guitar player, and the drummer
drums
in the back.
But I mean, like in these upcoming shows, we're going to be doing a stand-up drum kit. Where I'm going to be
he's
standing
playing
up
up front
and
with
I can
me.
sing so much easier that way,
Yeah.
so much effortlessly when I'm standing up and my
Interesting.
like my lungs
How does
are
that
open.
work? Like your kick.
It's
like,
interesting because you can't use your left foot because you can't be like on
Yeah,
your
like-
heels. So you have to keep the hi-hat closed, but you can kind of manipulate where if you hit it on a certain like side, it sounds open, and if you hit the top of it, it sounds closed.
Ooh. Okay.
So that's kind of how I've been working with it. And then
I
you
like
obviously
that.
use the kick. It's
It
so
looks
much
awesome.
fun.
If
It's
you've
so
ever
much
heard
fun.
of the band, if you're into rock, pop, look up the band Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
From the 90s. I mean, they are just
Stand-up drummer. That's
it's
cool.
so cool.
A lot of the people who have listened to our record who are from that era have said that it's like the new Jellyfish.
Interesting.
Like
a
the
cool
harmony, sunshine
Right.
soaked 90s power
Yeah,
pop.
yeah. I noticed that about a few of the songs. It was like I would have said like euphoric background
Sure,
vocals is what I
sure.
would have said.
Yeah.
It has all that. Like it's a lot of vocals. It's
Yeah.
a lot of. You think you've heard harmony? Just wait till the record. But
Yeah,
I
we're
love that.
excited. Super excited.
but yeah, we need that, and I think that was kind of a natural progression for him as a singer to be up front.
Yeah.
And also as a statement, like I'm tired of having him in the back when it's the two of us.
Right.
I love that. I love
You know,
that.
it's like the Corduroy Blue is not me. I
Yeah.
write these songs. I've got plenty of songs that don't fit our vibe, you know,
Right.
that might just be for something else one day.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's like, it's not like every song I'm writing, I'm making it a Corduroy Blue song.
yeah, like you just know when they are kind of.
Yeah, I know when it's for me and him specifically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's
You know.
great that you can sing because like if you're a drummer and you can't sing and you can't play piano, like it's hard to get your song idea across.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you can do
Yeah.
it.
It's
though.
so I've tried to write a song behind
Yeah.
a drum kit. It's very, very difficult.
I imagine
Well,
it
very
is.
he
yeah.
difficult.
helps write songs by giving me the inspiration for the beat, but I'm the
Correct.
one that ends up writing it.
Gotcha.
You know,
that helps a
'cause-
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'd wondered how that worked. Like if it was tough for you to bring something in and it work or not.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he wrote
Yeah.
one recently that I'm really excited about, that I really like, and so we'll be keeping that. But
Yeah,
he
word.
sings a song on every record, so he leads a song on this debut
That's cool.
record.
I love
It'd be
that
so
too.
fun. Yeah.
I love that.
It's like the Ringo
just
Starr
a
song.
change.
Yes.
Just a
Oh,
change is
Absolutely.
great.
Just
you
a
know?
breath of fresh air kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
And it's good for your voice and everything.
Yeah.
Gives you a
Yes.
break. Yeah, fantastic.
And when you listen to the album, that song is so key to me.
Yeah.
It's pivotal to the record because, like it or not, I'm trying to write a hit.
Oh, yeah,
You know, like
I am
I'm
too.
I'm being serious, and I'm trying to
Aren't
write
we
a
all?
hit.
Aren't
Yeah.
we all? Cheers.
Trying to write a hit song, and cheers to writing hits or attempting
to
to.
writing it. It's to trying.
And the song we wrote a song together. Basically, we were just jamming out upstairs, and I had already had the idea of like
A Ringo-esque star.
I wanted
kind
him
of-
I wanted him to sing.
Gotcha.
I really wanted that,
Yeah.
and he was obviously right on board with it.
Yeah. Excited.
So we're just jamming out, and he comes up with this great little.
Well,
drum
I think
fill,
what happened
right?
was we were trying. Like, it's the funniest thing when you start songwriting because when you go in wanting to write a song, nothing
Yeah,
works out.
it will
But
never
when
work.
like
Yeah, it didn't
all of a sudden
work.
you're like in the shower, and you're like, oh my god, this is a great
Boom.
melody, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like, we went into like the band room to
No, you're good.
specifically write a song, and we
Yeah.
just couldn't think of anything. So we're like, let's just take a break. And I just like playing this random ass like triplet
Yeah.
fill,
Yeah.
and he comes back and he's like, wait, play that again, and I'm like, da 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 da, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
it was great.
and then he starts playing this riff, and then naturally a song comes together just from that little.
You're so right, man. If you ever sit down and go, "Damn, I'm gonna write a petty
And nothing
song,"
fucking
it'll
happens.
It won't
never.
work.
You know what I
Nothing.
mean? But you have to try it, or you know, keep it
Yes,
flowing.
you have to
So
keep
that's
it
great.
going. Absolutely,
Yeah.
you can't give
I'm
up.
trying
And
to find my phone to show you that little.
Oh, you're good, man.
Oh, here it is.
I like the like duo having the drummer up front. I saw this band.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
new.
cool.
It's you don't really see that
Illiterate
very
Light, I
often.
think you're talking about.
Yeah, they have it up front. I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. I appreciate that.
And
Because
it
you guys
also-
are technically a duo no matter what,
Correct.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. In the
Sweet.
studio, there's nobody else unless we invite somebody to
right?
play
Gotcha,
on
to
it.
sit in kind of thing.
Because I can play bass.
Yeah,
You know, I play
yeah.
keys. He can play keys. He can play
Word.
drums. We can both
I think that's
sing.
cool. I love the duo thing. I had some friends that were in a duo, like they had a drum machine, a synth, and a guitar, and
It's
that
so
was all I
badass.
did.
That's
It was
sick.
so sick.
So, like,
yeah.
this is what he's talking about. Like, we're just trying to... I won't play the whole thing, but I'll show you the
Give me a
intro.
little bit of it, yeah.
A little snippet of this.
Oh, there you show him a
This-
picture. I was like,
no, this is a song that he...
I was so
this is
confused.
the song that he sings, but it was just in the room, just like... That's all you get.
I love it. I love it. Make us wait.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it was just so... And then once that happened, it was like, I went downstairs and...
And then we just sat
Sorted
together
it
at the
out.
piano and we
Yeah.
started. I did more of the lyrics, he did more of the melody, and it was
Okay.
just so much fun.
Like,
That's
I kind of came
great.
to him with a melody, and I was like, what do you want this to be about? And he just came up with some great lines. And
That's fantastic. I think that's great. That I just like I like a change. You know, it's great
Yeah.
for any
Yeah.
band. Great for any band. What do I want to ask next? I want to talk about some of your songs that were out. You said that which ones are actually singles for the record? There's only one right now, right?
there's actually... There are three of them that
Three.
are out right now. One of
Okay.
them was one that was... Well, I think I
Is
meant by
"Give
that
Me
was-
Love" one?
Give Me Love is one.
I love that one. That
Could
one's
It Be
very
is
rock.
one.
Could It Be is one? Okay,
And
sweet.
then Bye
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 Love,
Love.
the one we just did.
Okay, so Wonder Boy is before this, I guess.
Yeah, Wonder Man and
Or
Falling
Wonder
Out of
Man,
Love.
excuse me.
So we didn't really know. That was the thing. Like, when we did those first four singles, we didn't know what we wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Like, we
okay.
just needed to put music out.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were just getting advice here. You should put that one out. This feels like
Uh-huh.
in retrospect, it feels like an interesting mix of songs we ended up putting out.
Yeah.
I think the main reason was we don't have a hit yet, so might as well just, if I can write all those different styles, just try it, see what people like.
I noticed that because I listened to just immediately went in and started listening to Spotify like top four,
Yep.
and like I don't know what number one was, but it was a certain vibe.
The new
and
one.
then yeah, that would have been that one. And then like Give Me Love was probably number two, and I was like, all right, this one rocks. Like,
Yeah.
This is a rocker, you know.
Yeah.
And then the third one was Could It Be, I believe, and it was like, all right, this one's like a vibe,
Yeah.
like immaculate. And
Yes,
then
sir.
the fourth one was like Elton Johnny, which
Yeah.
I guess you said was Wonder Man,
Yeah,
right? I wrote
Falling Out of
Wonder
Love
Boy.
and Wonder Man are both kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that you guys got some, some
Variety.
grasp,
If I
you know?
can write it, I feel like a lot of artists tend to hinder their output, hinder their creative output because they're trying to stick to a sound, which like fair enough. But also, what if you did that as you were listening? You'd miss out on a lot of ideas.
Yeah, you just never change almost
Right.
too. you
Yeah,
know?
and it's like
Yeah.
I try and create the way that I consume.
Okay.
So that's kind of
Interesting. Create the way you consume. What do you mean by that?
like if I'm consuming all these different things.
Yeah.
What tells me that I can't create?
Ooh, I
with,
like that.
with those in mind, with all these different things.
Right.
That's cool.
If I like Elton John and I like Led Zeppelin, I should be able to make songs that sound like both.
yeah, yeah.
you know?
I get what you mean. That's cool. And it makes it more interesting to listen to usually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of keep your audience on their toes. You don't know what you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I kind of had a thing with this where I was like I would be like, oh, I don't want to put that out as a single. Like that's not our sound, maybe, And then it was
Sure.
like, all right, it's just a single.
try
Like
it.
this can be different,
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
should, it can,
Yeah.
And what we've noticed, so this new one we just did, to me, is the most different of all
Okay.
five. Like those other ones, I feel like they're different, but you could kind of say they're all 70s rock inspired. Maybe
I'd
except for
give
Could
it
Be.
that vibe. At least Give Me Love. I was definitely like, all right, there's like a cool 70s
Right.
thing
Yeah.
going on here.
Yeah.
But like without trying to be, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
sure.
makes
It's
sense.
just a
Yeah.
modern
Yeah.
version of it.
Appreciate
Yes, which is great.
But like, well, even that song, I personally think like my favorite genre of music is 90s like Britpop. So
yeah,
this is-
word.
But like even Give Me Love, I can hear Black Crows in that.
Yeah,
the
I can
90s
see
Black
that. I
Crows.
can see
and then,
that. Yeah.
With Bye Bye Love,
Uh-huh.
it was very new wave 80s, which we hadn't really
Okay.
done that yet. So just trying different things. But yeah, those three singles are going to be the three. The other two, I think we just wanted to try, see if we...
How is the whole album though? Do you guys feel like the vibe was found throughout the 13 tracks, or is it a pretty wide scope?
It's pretty wide, I would
Pretty
say.
wide?
I mean, I think...
Wait, so your question was like,
do you think it's...
Like
One
sometimes,
sound?
yeah, like you hear like "What's the Story, Morning Glory." That's like one
kind of-
thought,
one
or,
cohesive
what I
sound
mean?
or thought?
Yeah,
It's pretty everywhere, I would say, for
That's
like
good.
a sound. It's definitely not one sound. Like we definitely pick from all inspirations,
Yeah.
all different types of things we're interested in.
cool.
And yeah, we're definitely trying to take our audiences on like a journey of
That's great.
just a
I mean, it's
sonic
definitely,
journey.
It's definitely a pop rock album in the true sense of the
Right.
word.
Yes.
Like, "Gimme Love" is definitely the heaviest song still.
Sweet,
Right.
sweet.
But we take pop rock very generally. Like that means
very
so
broad,
much. You know what I
very
mean?
broad,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
pop rock could be Peter Gabriel. It could be, it could be
Smash
the Beatles.
Mouth.
It could be,
It could be anything. You know what I mean?
It could be anything.
Exactly.
It could be
Could be
Supergrass.
anything.
It could
Yeah.
be,
Exactly.
I mean, so I think that is definitely channeled. And I personally think my voice is very recognizable. Like,
I think so.
when you've heard my voice, you know it's mine.
It's like a soft. It's like, I hate to say soft, but it's like a soft, but it's still got some delivery. If that
It's
makes
soft
sense.
with a
Makes
little
sense.
rasp to it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's cool.
You can tell it's my voice.
It's like
on the
delicate
record.
with integrity or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's hard too.
Ooh, there you go.
Coining
That's a good one.
terms over there. Nice.
Sonic
nice.
Foreplay and delicate. What did you just say?
With integrity.
Delicate with integrity. I like
Rated
it.
R.
That sounds like a record name.
Yeah,
It
delicate
does,
with
yeah.
integrity. But
Continue up.
it'll be really fun to see what people think, and I think for me, I think everybody. I will say this to kind of tie in what I'm talking about with the record is maybe it doesn't have a sound, but with all of our songs, if you strip them down, if you play them in a certain way, like they're all beautiful melodies.
Gotcha.
That's my goal.
Yes.
With
that's
every tune we make, even if it's weird, because I've got some weird songs, I've got some wacky songs, like, but if you can remember that melody, if it's memorable, if the melody could be slowed down, stripped down to be, sad, happy, but beautiful, like that's what we're doing. Pretty
Interesting.
much. Every
Yeah.
track you could, the new Bye Bye Love song, if you slowed that down, put some piano, that's a beautiful song.
Yeah, like it holds up on the piano or the acoustic. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'd say that kind of ties it all together.
I think it's cool that, like, although you guys have all these I guess vintage-esque vibes in there or whatever, I like it that you guys are still like, we're a power pop band, and not like, I don't like dislike this, but I don't like it when bands are like, we're an 80s rock band. It's like, I would much rather you be like a now thing, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Do you get what I mean?
I totally get what you mean.
Yes.
And we are, like that's the thing is like where people get in trouble is, listen, to me, the best music of all time was made during that period, like
For
the
sure.
60s through the 90s. For
My
me personally,
favorites. Yeah, I love them.
That's the best.
Love them.
Not that today's music is bad by any means. It's amazing, but it's not that.
Yes.
And nothing can really replace those. Maybe it was the vibe. Maybe it was the look, whatever. That's where all my inspiration pretty much is coming from.
Same.
But I follow all sorts of hip hop artists, all sorts of R&B artists that I don't even particularly care for musically because of what they're doing visually. Like what they're posting about, like what their images look like. I mean, me and my photographer are always sending that stuff. And so when you combine the visuals of today with I always tell him, I guess what I would call our music these days is like 60s melodies, 90s instrumentation, today's production.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's how
cool.
I put it.
I like that. That's awesome. That's a good description.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of people do the whole like, we're funk rock jam band, but
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
Power
I
pop,
like that.
60s, 90s, and now. It's like
Ooh, that's hard, man. You need to put that in the bio.
7, the fish.
You need to put that in the bio.
I know,
That's
you put
hard,
that-
man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Maybe make that a T-shirt. 60s.
Yeah,
90s,
man. Have you guys done any merch?
We
You guys
have
merch, guys.
Yeah. We've done. We really haven't done a ton of designs. More restocking. We've got one swirl corduroy blue shirt, and then
Sweet.
we got one for Wonder Man. Right.
Yeah.
We
cool.
just ordered some cute little pins for Bye Bye Love.
Sweet.
Basically, the idea is with every single, we're gonna do something for it, and then the album cover's badass, so we're gonna just put that on everything.
Love that. Love that. I think that's cool, like album and single specific merch, because like you've only got a brief amount of time to get this. You know,
Yeah,
it's
limited time.
relevant.
People like that stuff.
Well,
I
and
think
even
so.
when the album
Yeah.
comes out, like you might still be privy to Bye Bye Love, and you get something specific to that song if you just want that piece.
True.
Yeah.
Because I will say this about the record: I don't expect anybody to like every single song.
Yeah.
I don't.
'Cause it's so diverse,
'Cause
maybe.
it's so
different.
diverse, so
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
I don't.
Interesting.
So you might just like 3 songs, but those 3 songs might make it worth you coming to see us live because you love them.
Yeah, you love those 3.
Yeah, I mean, we are the only 2 people I think that will adore every single track. But
I mean, having awareness of that is admirable. Though.
yeah, because
Good
I would
for y'all.
rather.
Good for y'all.
I think it's more fun to. It's a lot less fun to appeal to like 40-year-old executives. Be like, this is the greatest album made since '78. I'd rather a bunch of people, doesn't matter age, genre, gender, or whatever. People be like, arguing over what the best song is.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
it's so different. I don't, there's no consensus.
It's
best
like
song.
you casted a big net. You know what I mean?
And
You
you
hope
gotta
it'll
pick
catch
which
more
one you
fish.
want.
Exactly.
You know?
I think we have the same favorite song. Would we? Dreams
For
and
this
Nightmares?
album? I don't know, man.
It varies.
It really varies. It
Yeah.
it literally depends on my mood of that day.
Yeah, gotcha.
But there's gonna be some people who that won't be their favorite song.
It's definitely
and
top
that's
3
okay.
if you were wondering, but I don't know.
But that's the beauty of it. Is
Yeah.
like I'd rather just have people argue about what's the best song rather than have everybody like
have it be an obvious maybe
Yeah.
per se. Or,
Right.
I think that's smart. I mean, it makes sense. I like. How long have you guys been planning this? It sounds like you've got everything planned out. A while.
I also and I also don't do any. He knows like I sit down, I plan everything way before
Yeah.
we do it. So
Uh-huh.
I mean, we knew we wanted to make an album
Uh-huh.
like in December or January, I
Okay.
think. But I mean, I've been
of 2021.
yeah,
right?
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I would say I got serious about
once
it.
we transitioned from Aquashade to Corduroy Blue, we obviously knew that we thought like maybe 5-6 years down the line we would have a debut album. So we
Yes.
always knew we wanted it. We never really had an idea of the timeline.
Gotcha.
So
it
we didn't
happened way
expect,
faster
Yeah,
than
we
we
didn't
thought.
expect it to be
Good
this
for
quick.
y'all.
So
Yeah.
we're very excited. But we finally had a timeline around December of 2021.
yeah, correct.
And that's when we started like getting the logistics figured out. Like
Gotcha.
we have a production deal. We
Yes.
have, moving parts. We actually can like set dates to
Interesting.
record and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a little
So-
bit about that production deal because
Tell
I
me
think
about
it's
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
fascinated.
because I had kind of come to the conclusion of God bless people like Nordista who can do it all
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
We just can't. Like
Yeah.
there's
doesn't work for
money
everybody.
involved and there's things
Yeah.
involved that just but it had to be the right deal. Like it had to be the right thing. So we had kind of come to the agreement like we're not going to make a debut album unless we were signed or we were backed by something somehow. That was kind of the
Gotcha.
idea. Like we didn't
think
want to do
that's
it
smart.
completely independent.
Kind of like I was saying earlier, like I don't think you should just be able to make an album, sort of.
No.
Like I think you need, like you guys have done the
totally
work
agree.
for this to make
Correct.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could go into that so hard because that's
Let's
why
do
the
it.
60s through 90s works so well because
Yeah.
I was telling him the reason those bands are so good for the most part is like you had to make a band, you
Yeah.
had to practice, you had to play, you had to be good enough that somebody would walk in and remember you,
Yeah.
come to another one, be like, okay, yeah,
Find your phone number.
find your pager, like
Yeah.
meet you backstage, talk to you.
And
You
like every song they were playing was unreleased. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Literally.
Every single one of the
That's
originals.
Exactly.
You had to know them, or you know
Exactly,
what I mean?
you had to
That's very
remember. You had
true.
to, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Then you meet them, go to the studio. You have to be good in the studio because
Yep.
you don't just get to make it at your house. You have
Exactly.
to go to a place and
Yep.
do it funded by somebody.
For your first time ever, there was no practicing for the studio. This is your
Exactly.
There was
first
no
time
like
in
sending
there.
demos on iMessages, you know.
Yep.
So that's why bands are so good. They had to really be good.
Yep,
You
for
don't
sure.
get to just be
For
like,
sure.
oh shit, I got this cool little idea. Make it in GarageBand.
I
send
got
it
an
to
interface.
Yeah, send it to DistroKid and have it come out in 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna create a mediocre music scene.
For sure. For sure.
And not that I mean, there's like I said, there's so many great bands, but in general, music is just so saturated.
There's so many tunes now, I guess. I would love to know the ratio of how many tunes were coming out in the 80s, 70s,
Yeah, I would
90s.
love to see the
first to now.
statistics of that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think I read that it's like something like 60,000 songs a day now or something, which is crazy. Yeah, yeah. Don't
Holy
quote me
shit.
on that, but
No, I've
read
heard something
that.
similar.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
interesting.
so it was for the reason of finances. It was for the reason of just kind of a personal vendetta too. Like we said we're gonna do this, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And then also like having like Will Turpin and the Real to Real team. Real to Real Studios is the name of the studio we work out of.
Awesome. Is it in Atlanta?
It's in Jonesboro. So just
Jonesboro.
south.
I know where Jonesboro is.
Yeah, I love it there.
Yeah.
Just having like a team of people that are like rooting for us, that are promoting on our behalf, that
That's
are,
huge.
it was just that. It was huge for us.
Yeah.
Like that we're not the only controllers of our destiny. We have people in higher positions, bigger than us, who are doing that work as well.
Yeah.
What was the process of getting them on board? Did you like pitch yourself to them, or
Yeah.
did they know you already?
It was a
or-
long
It was
process.
a long, yeah. So basically, it all started with one of our good friends is friends with the wife of the lead singer of Collective Soul.
Okay.
So track with me.
You could
Whoa.
even break it. You could break it down like, okay, we were best friends with this family.
Uh-huh.
So we're going
The
way
mother of this family
Okay.
was best friends with the lead singer's wife.
Sweet. Okay.
So-
back. Right.
Yeah.
So then I started babysitting for the lead singer of Collective Soul's kid.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's kind
Sweet.
of like
Making
me
me
talking with
house-
them, and then like told them we were in a band. So then we got more connected. I brought Atticus around.
Word.
Then we totally talked about like we're making a single. We just rebranded. So then the lead singer kind of funded our first single, "Give Me Love."
Whoa, that's
and
dope.
so we kind of got more and more connected. We did a show at what was the acoustic? Oh, Eddie's Attic.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie's Attic's awesome.
With Collective Soul. That was a lot of fun.
What?
That was a really
And
big
then
gig.
I don't know exactly how we got with the
Yeah, sure.
conversation between Will Turpin and the production deal. You could talk about that.
Well, so yeah, he basically we've known of Collective Soul for a while. They knew
Yeah.
of us, but I mean, we weren't ready.
Yeah.
And then there was his son, I think, came out to a gig of ours, and then when you get to a certain point when you're good enough, people are just. That's what I'm saying is like. You'll know when you're talking about touring. We'll know when that's right because there's a buzz, there's a chatter about you that you can't really deny.
Like a word of mouth thing that's like a given. Like you have
Yeah.
a reputation.
Exactly.
per
And
se.
we were starting to gain that locally, and then he was starting to hear like, because I said Yates, our producer, was good friends with him, and he was talking about us a lot. Everybody was talking about us
That's great.
in his circle, which is amazing. You can't pay for that. That's priceless.
Yes.
Then they got us to play Eddie's.
right.
It was great. We killed that. And then, he paid for our single. And then, but again, really good example. We made that first single. He liked it. Devin Allman, Greg Allman's son of all people from the Allman Brothers, loved our first single.
That's hype. That's
which
hype.
was great.
Yeah.
And then we made the second one, the piano one, and Ed Rowan from Collective Soul. He was like, that's the one.
Word.
So what I was saying earlier, making a different song appeals to everybody differently.
Yeah.
They might not have gotten on board with it if we had just kept doing that same Gimme Love song.
Yeah. It's like, all right, there's no depth here, maybe per se or whatever.
Yeah, correct, sure.
But I think it's great that like they have to have a band that's already done the damn thing have
Yep.
anything to do with you is so
That's what I'm saying.
huge.
Yep.
So
For them to
they've
not
done
only,
it, They
exactly.
know.
For them to not only have like financial dog in the fight,
Yeah.
but like they actually there's like this intangible like mentorship and like
Yes.
care that they give to us.
Yes.
Because they wouldn't give us advice. They wouldn't offer us this
yeah.
really good production if they didn't really enjoy our music or care
So
about
true.
us as people. You know what I mean? Because we
Yes.
built a relationship.
It's priceless. You said they don't need us, but
exactly.
this is the new chapter. They've done it. They're doing it still. They're releasing a
Now
record.
they're trying to pay it forward, if you will.
Interesting.
You know?
And I think that like they all have knowledge they want to give, and it's like
yeah.
they can't just pass that off to anybody. Like it's
No.
got to be something they're interested in. So
Right.
good for y'all, man. I had no idea you guys had anything to do with it.
Yeah,
so,
so
that's
they've
cool.
been great. And then we met. I was talking to Ed a lot, the lead singer, and then I don't remember. I ended up just kind of getting closer with the bass player who owns this. Basically, I mean, we've been recording out of that studio regardless of the production deal.
Okay.
We've been doing it since the lead single, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we already knew of him. We knew he owned it, but we never
Yeah.
really had contact with him.
Okay.
And then when we played, I think when we played Eddie's, I made a point to go up to Will. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, man, really want to make this record, see what we can do.
Yeah.
And I had heard of the production deal,
Okay.
but it's basically it's kind of usually a studio offering you that kind of deal doesn't do that much because all they're doing is just waiving their fees
Yes.
in order for recoupments on the back end.
Yes. No
which
push
that's
or
a
anything.
standard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
happens.
But because it's who it is,
Uh-huh.
because of the nature of who he is, the band,
Uh-huh.
just the nature of that connection makes this production deal more valuable.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Because it's not only are they waiving studio fees, like he's a big deal.
Yeah.
Normal
The
studio owners
sonics.
don't have that kind of connection.
Yeah. I get
Right.
what you mean.
So
I get what you mean.
he has these intangible connections. He wants to build it almost like a label.
yeah.
So
Well,
we're
that's
one of his
smart.
first signees. For him, it's smart too. Like, find bands you believe in, save them a few thousand on just the time in the studio because he's not even recording the album.
Okay.
The other guy is. So he gets a good deal out of this too.
Yeah. So W's for everybody.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And then
what'd you say was the name of the studio?
Reel to Reel Studios.
Real to Real. It's a pretty nice place. Big place.
Oh, it's
Very
beautiful.
cool.
Interesting. I'm looking for a new
Awesome.
studio. I might hit
Dude,
you up.
hit
Get
it
in
up.
there.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
dude, they're
Yeah.
amazing. They're really great, and the staff's awesome. The engineers are great. Will's great, and
Sweet.
Yates is really affordable if you're looking for a
Yeah.
producer too.
Yeah, for sure. Yates, is that his name?
Yeah, Christopher
Christopher
Allen
Yates.
Yates.
Christopher Allen. Yeah, I'm looking to go a new direction with the Sonics, and I'm honestly I'm just a big fan of how y'all shit sounds. Dude.
Yeah,
It
dude,
sounds so good.
He,
Sounds
he
good.
he's attentive. Yeah, yeah. Just I'll give you his number when we're done.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Okay, so you get the production deal and everything, and now you've got your full plan. Like you guys have been executing it. You're pretty deep in executing
Yep.
it. 3 months away from the album, 2
Yep.
months, whatever.
Yep.
Where do you guys kind of hope to be when it comes out, or following that?
Who
You know what I
knows?
mean?
Uh, Well, I will say
somewhere.
the nature of the production deal.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, nowhere, and everywhere.
I love it.
The nature of the production deal is like, again, the big part is those guys make their money
Okay.
when we do well.
Gotcha.
So it's like they have some incentive to promote, to do their thing.
Yes, and
He
you
has
want to
some
do
ins-
well,
and I want to do
help
well
them
for my
out.
own
Yeah.
thing and
Yeah.
for us.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to be able to say we've got some sort of like, I've been talking to a couple bands there's a band called the Ruin Brothers who opened up for Orville Peck, opened up for Greta Van Fleet.
Oh, sick.
And we're in touch, and I want to try and get on their tour when they come to the Southeast.
Yeah.
Band called the Foxies, want to get on theirs in the Southeast.
Sweet.
And these like decently mid-level size, pretty big acts. That's, like I said, that's the goal. Put out the album, do the release show, and then just tour, kind of just do this whole cycle of South Carolina, Nashville, Atlanta, Florida, Alabama.
Yep.
Love do the circle over and over again.
The SEC.
Opening for bigger and bigger bands.
Yeah,
Just getting in front of more faces. Like that's the goal after the album.
I think that's great because you guys already have a pool in Atlanta. Like you have something to offer.
Yep.
That's, I mean, not relatively rare, I'd say. You know what I mean? Like not every, a band comes in of the same vibe. They're immediately looking for somebody in town that can sell tickets that has the same vibe as them. That's you guys, you know. The more cities you have that in, you start
exactly,
opening,
correct. And then you just expand it from there, And the big thing with a record is you have no idea. This record might do nothing, and it might be a big deal.
Yeah, you never know.
A lot of that is out of our control at a certain point.
Gotcha.
Like people might just get into it, and you might never have expected it.
Yeah.
Or it might do like what I expect. Like if I promote this and do that and pay for this placement and do that, it might do what I think it will do, but.
Have you guys looked into the paid placements any for like Instagram and stuff, or maybe even playlists? Because I know it definitely helps on Instagram for sure, right? It's a little more necessary than people realize.
The ads are really important on Instagram.
Yes.
Sure.
People don't even realize it. Almost if you don't put paid placement behind something, it's probably not going to go too hard.
No, you got to really.
Unfortunately, but
That's the case.
And then Spotify is a lot trickier because you don't know what's real and what's not.
You can't really pay for that unless you go on like publicist route.
Which I would rather do. Like pay a publicist to check it out.
Have you guys thought about that? I talked to Freeze a little bit about the whole publicist thing. Like they did a whole run, like a radio run kind of.
Yeah.
Might be something to consider.
There's a company called Planetary Group. Planetary Music Group. And we used another company that did okay. The Spotify wasn't what I was looking for. And the blog that they basically interviewed us and sent it to a shit ton of blogs that reposted it. Yeah. I wasn't super happy with the intentionality of the blog. It didn't feel very wanted. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't feel like they really cared. Not that they I mean, I guess I'm paying them to do a job, but it didn't feel like the heart of what we were doing was really coming across, but they did great for our YouTube views on Could It Be.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So that was worth it.
Yeah.
With Planetary, they're really cool though because I can't remember the name of the other place we used, but it was basically they had a $20,000 plan, which obviously no, but big artists will do that.
Yeah, they'll run it.
We did the $500 plan.
Yeah,
which
sample pack.
Yeah, but I feel like at a certain point, some of those places are just taking your money, and they all know that 500 might not be enough to really do a proper push.
Yeah,
but they're just they're just doing it anyway. So
that's their excuse to why you didn't get any traction.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all right, try the $2,000 plan.
Then you might get some traction.
But they're still charging you 500 because they know they can make money off you.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
It's a good realization.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when I messaged Planetary, he was basically like, "Hey, I'm gonna shoot you straight. We don't do $500 plans." He was like,
"Yeah,
because I care about your release. I care about it doing well. Usually our minimum's $1,200.
Word.
Which, first of all, was really cool to know that he wasn't just going to take my money. He could have easily taken $400 and done nothing. And said, to your point, well, sorry, you can't really do much for $400.
Yeah.
But instead, he was like, $1,200, we'll get you on the radios. We'll get you.
Ooh, okay.
So I will probably end up doing that.
Yeah.
That's one of the many things I'll do.
I think that's smart. Yeah. I think I'd be curious to see how that panned out.
Me too.
I'm sure a learning kind of thing, and you'll do better next time. But I had a girl on the show who, I think she did more like a $3,000 plan, and she got a write-up in Billboard magazine.
Oh, wow.
Huh. And she was like, honestly, it pretty much did nothing for me.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. It's like, what does that do?
Okay, well, good to know,
Yep, good to know.
You would think, you get the Billboard write-up. It's like, all right, here we go, moonshot,
Exactly.
She's like, literally nothing happened.
Yeah, well, it's like, who's got, I guess executives aren't going on Billboard necessarily to read an article about some artist they don't know.
Yes. If you don't have the buzz, you don't have the buzz yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just how it is.
Yes.
So what you just said.
Yes.
Is so important to know, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's great.
We know we don't have the buzz that we maybe want, but we're happy with what we have.
That's great.
But also knowing we want more. But it's like, don't pretend you have more than you have.
Yeah.
Because that only, like, that happens. And that's basically the problem I have with paying for Spotify or paying for Instagram followers specifically. People who pay for numbers.
Yeah.
You're only shooting yourself in the foot because when you get booked, they'll find out really quickly.
Yeah, you don't have that follower.
You don't got it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're never getting it again.
And it's almost always obvious. Like if they've got 10,000 followers and their post has 95 likes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like a Spotify artist has like 4 million streams on one song, but they have like 55 monthly listeners.
Yeah, it's like,
you know
all
what I
right,
mean?
buddy.
It's like, we know what's happening.
Yeah. It's like, I think they're under the illusion that it's going to help them, but it's not.
It's hurting you.
Yeah.
It is.
Because if you want this long term, if you want short term clout, sure, you've got it.
Yeah, you got it.
But long term, it's not. But I will say, there's one guy who I
was just about to bring him up, and I was like, "Are you going to bring him up?"
We can't name him. We can't name him. But he's
getting spicy.
I'm just going to say it.
No,
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see your. I just wanted to see your face.
Like, please don't. So, anyways, he's a hip hop artist in North Atlanta.
Okay.
And I can't believe I'm calling him an artist, but he's got like 1.3 million.
What?
To put that in perspective, that's less than Maddie Healy of the 1975. Just putting that in perspective. Followers on Instagram. He's got probably like 900. What is his Spotify?
Look him up.
So he has 1.3 million followers.
What's his Spotify?
Following 1,000.
What's his Spotify number?
Spotify.
I'll tell the story while he's doing it. We were kind of friends. Grew up like before he was into all this, and then he like blew up.
Yeah.
And he's verified and everything.
Okay,
It's crazy.
Okay.
And so, how much is it?
10,350 monthly.
First of all, that doesn't add up. Right off the bat.
That doesn't add up.
If you have, like for example, 1975 have 2 million followers on Instagram. They've got 11 million monthly listeners. Like that's not how that
ain't
works.
right there.
Yeah, exactly.
11.2 million.
Yeah, no,
listeners.
you're always gonna have more Spotify
gosh.
than you're gonna have Instagram. Like how many
you
artists have
have-
you enjoyed on Spotify that you didn't follow on Instagram?
If you have 1 million followers, the amount of width you would have that many people follow you would translate
Exactly.
much larger than
But
that.
here's
Exactly.
the fucking crazy thing.
I just
Tell
don't
me.
get it.
So
Tell
the
me.
guy invites me to his party, his birthday bash,
Okay.
which I'm like, this will be fun.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going
This
on.
will be
here.
funny.
And the crazy thing is, like, there was a shit ton of people there, and
Okay.
the reason for this, I've decided,
Yeah.
the clout is so strong
Okay.
that when somebody with 1.3 million followers posts that they're having a party, on paper maybe nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks people are gonna be there
Uh-huh.
because he's got so many followers. If 30 people like me are like, oh my god, that thing's gonna be so dope, we all gotta go.
Yeah.
Even if it's not real, they all ended up showing
go?
up anyways.
Well, if you see
I've never
someone
seen
with
anything like
1.3
it.
million followers say they're gonna have a party, a lot of people are
Everybody's
gonna bet
gonna
on
go.
the fact that someone's gonna be there. People are gonna
you
be
just
there. You know what I
assume.
mean?
Yeah,
So everybody assuming that and created this huge
the
crowd.
buzz, the
and
buzz.
he played it like again. If you have 1.3 million followers, you're not playing at Misfits at Buckhead.
Yeah.
You're just not.
You're just not. Yeah.
But anyways, I can't say anything more because it
I know.
starts to narrow it.
I've been watching my tongue this whole time.
That's
Or like
funny.
hiding my screen.
Yeah.
It starts to narrow it down. But anyways,
Still funny though. I know.
yeah,
very
it's like
funny.
but that's crazy that you could have so much clout at a
Yeah.
certain point
Clout.
that like
Yeah.
you could
Clout.
fill up a
What is
room
clout,
because everybody
actually, yeah.
thinks it's gonna be.
Yeah, and it's fascinating to me, man. Because some people like you'll like. I hate to keep using Stu's, but Stu's literally had like 2,000 followers on Instagram, and they had like 40,000 monthly
Exactly,
listeners.
yeah.
Right. That's
you know what I
organic.
mean? Yes, that's
Exactly.
real. You know, and now they're up. They literally went from like 2 to 10K followers.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So good for them. But you know what I mean. You can always tell.
Yeah, like our
You can always
numbers are
tell.
really similar. We actually probably have more Instagram followers because
Yeah.
we have a lot of people who probably followed us when we were in high school and
Yeah.
forgot that we exist and forgot to unfollow us. But
Well, it's a
don't
good
listen
look.
to us
I
anymore.
mean, it
Yeah.
still looks real though. 1,800, I think you guys have, or 2,000, something
Yeah,
like that.
and we've
That's
got like
great.
800 Spotify monthly listeners.
Yeah,
no,
well,
no
that's the
placement,
thing.
no promo, no nothing.
Oh, that's great because it
Right.
doesn't necessarily translate. Like my band, for example, we really haven't streamed that well quite yet. We're going
Yeah,
to,
sure.
I know,
Yes,
but
yeah,
like,
I'm believing it.
I believe it too.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you
But
will.
we literally can do 400 tickets in Athens, and we don't stream well. You know what I mean? Like
That's the way to go.
that
That's
doesn't
way
necessarily-
better than
It's way
having
better.
so many streams, but you can barely bring 20 people to a venue.
Exactly. We focused
Way
on that
better.
side of it. If
That's
that
the way
makes
to go.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Streams will
matters.
follow.
They will.
yes.
They will. Yeah,
When
and
you
they're
start-
increasing. You know,
Yeah,
as the shows happen.
which is
you know?
great.
Yeah, which is it's just interesting to me.
It is.
So we're at 92 minutes. Look at us go,
That
man.
went
It's
by-
a
that
long
went by
one.
fast.
I know, man. I want to thank my sponsors one more time, and then we're going to go into closing notes. If you guys have anything you want to tell the people, be thinking on it, and I'll ask you. All right. All right, everybody. I want to thank my show sponsors one more time. Classic City Jam, August 27th, Athens, Georgia. These boys going to come by if they get a chance. $10 tickets. Wim Tapley, Florida Man, Cam and his Damn Jam Band, The Angelics, Red Mile Road, 80 Blanco, Convince the Kid. One of the best lineups in Athens this semester, I'm sure of it. Check it out. Clear Mountain Entertainment, new sponsor of the show. Shout out to them. No Athens platform out of right here in Athens, Georgia. I'm going to put you guys in touch with
We'll
them.
be hitting you guys up.
Yes, they're awesome. They're making some of the best content in town. They're promoting shows. They're putting everybody on. They're making content for bands. It's great. Everybody check out No Athens. And finally, Clark's Collective, bar downtown. Fantastic. They've got $1.50 Michelob Ultras all summer, which is fantastic.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, fantastic. They're having bands. If you're a band and want to get into Clark's, hit me up. I'll send you over their number. Great place to play shows. I played there on graduation night. It was packed to the moon. Played a few other shows there that have been fantastic. So yeah, everybody check out Clark's. All right, you guys, closing notes here. What's your favorite part about being in the band?
That's a good question.
Big
man.
question.
My favorite part about being in a band, even as opposed to like solo, I don't know. It feels like there's a community of musicians. There's a community of fans. It feels like you get to build. You're building something bigger than yourself.
I was just about to say that. I feel like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like,
go ahead.
I think as humans, we all want to just do something that's bigger than ourselves because that gives us some kind of meaning.
Yeah.
And I think a band is a perfect way to do that, where
Think so.
you're doing something bigger than yourself and you're doing it for people so they can come out and they can just forget what they're doing in their normal life and just enjoy pure bliss, or if it's a mosh, just in pure like excitement or
Chaos.
rage, chaos. Like we all just want to like put that away, our normal lives, our stress for that week aside, just to enjoy 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you don't even realize, but you're making people's nights
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
times.
You're
You know
making
what I mean?
people's nights, and
Yeah.
this is it's almost selfish, but not really. Where I like making people happy because that makes me happy. Like if
great.
you like give someone a gift that like you know they're gonna like, it makes me happy watching them open it.
Exactly.
Same thing like when I make music that I know someone likes this song, I'm about to play it. It makes me happy to see their face light up. You know
Love
what I
that.
mean?
Exactly.
So it's like everyone gets a W because they're happy that I'm playing that song for them, and I'm happy because I get to see their reaction.
Yeah, man.
At
That's
the
where
end
it's
of the
at.
day, like, if any of you want to see a band, a person who are passionate about it, for me at least, to the point where like this is what I was made to do, then that's us, and that's why I like doing it. I can't do
great.
anything else. I don't know I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I love that.
This
I
is
love
what I
that.
do. So
Yeah. I actually
Yeah.
was watching this off of that. I was watching this documentary last night about Van Halen. I've seen it like a million times. And they were like, it was like before they made it or whatever. And one of their buddies was talking to him. They're like, Eddie and Al, what are you guys going to do if this doesn't pan out? And he was like, what do you mean? Like, this is it.
This
like,
is it.
this is
Oh
like,
my
we're going
God.
to do this until I die. And I literally filmed it. I'll show it to you guys after
Yeah,
this.
so
But
cool.
kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like, you just know when you're meant to do something. You
that's
know.
how I feel. Exactly
Yeah.
how he said it.
Yeah, like literally obsessed with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed
Yeah.
with
Oh,
it. That's
yeah.
all I think
You gotta
about,
do
you
it.
know?
Me
Yeah.
too.
Well, good for you guys for realizing that. All right, I've only got one or two more, but if you guys could go on tour with any band right now of the mid-tier and large tier, I mean, whatever,
Sure.
who would you want to go on tour with individually?
I'm so bad at this question.
Yeah.
I'm just so like musically.
I just basically tell
musically
Luke-
dumb. You know what I mean?
Okay,
When
well,
it comes
maybe
to, like,
locally then.
yeah, even
Even
then
then
I'm
he's
dumb,
dumb.
but it's okay.
I know you're not.
I really am, and it's okay.
Okay, I would say.
Me playing
I only say this because I know some people who have actually opened up for them.
Okay.
Big tier Black Crows.
Oh, hell yeah. Are they still touring?
Yeah.
Oh,
they got
word.
back together. They did
Yeah.
like a reunion thing.
You guys would fit well with that.
I
though.
think
like,
so,
that
too.
would
That'd be
work.
fun.
That would
Oh, yeah.
absolutely work. Yeah.
I'm gonna name 3. I'll do that. Then
Yeah.
say what you want, hate on them, but if we got to tour with them, Greta Van Fleet would.
I was
be,
gonna say that. That's the only
I
answer
love
I
'em.
have, and you
I love 'em.
freaking took it.
I mean,
that's all.
we would kill it.
I
with
kind
them.
of thought "Give Me Love" gave me a Greta Van
Well,
Fleet
that's-
vibe.
that
for
was a
second.
big inspiration
Yeah.
for that song.
Quick story on that was we went to we saw them at Shaky Knees 2018.
Oh, sick.
They were like that was right when they were picking up
Yeah.
steam.
Huh.
And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, like this is this is it.
Epic.
This is it. Their live show is insane. If you ever get a chance to catch it,
dude. I want
it's
to.
one of the best shows out right now.
Yeah.
I went home and wrote "Give Me Love." My mom was like, "I hate that song."
What?
It wasn't really there yet.
Yeah.
She was like, "That's just not your kind of music," and I was like, "It's all right, Mom." And then I went.
I remember that.
I went and I like fixed some things, and then later she's like, "What song is that? I like it." I was like, "That's the same one that you hated like a weeks ago."
Yeah.
But yeah, so they would be one, and then like mid tier. I don't know. I mean, the Nude Party was.
That would work.
Yeah.
That would work.
So stuff like that.
Those are 3 good answers. You guys would.
We kind of shoot for the moon,
Fleet.
man. I want to open up for my dream is Liam Gallagher. That's my dream.
Oh, that'd be so sick. Remember he was coming
Holy
to Shaky
crap.
Knees and they canceled it?
Ugh.
Bummed about that. Bummed about that. That would work too. You guys have the versatility for it to work.
That's
you
what
know
I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a weird way, right now it sucks because we are sometimes too pop for the punk bands and we're too rock for the pop bands.
Okay, that makes sense.
But on a larger scale, there's a lot of bands that could pull us and use us.
yeah,
Right.
in
Because
a
we are
certain
both of
way,
those things.
because
Right.
you could do either. I think that's
Yeah.
great. How about you? What's your 3? If you had to pick?
One of mine was Greta Van Fleet.
Okay, love that.
All right, thank you. I'm just kidding.
on.
Definitely Lemon Twigs. That would be super
yeah, I
fun.
forgot about that.
So
That's my
that would,
mid-tier.
what a fun,
That's my mid-tier.
what a fun show or people to be around. And then
Twigs.
also, this is a good one. Peach Pit.
Yeah.
You know
Peach Pit, okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see
they're
that.
definitely a lot more not as hard rock. We do have a couple hard rock songs, but I think we could fit their sound very well.
I
and
think so.
they're super cool. I love their
Yeah.
music, so that would be a lot of fun.
And
for me.
Jameson Tank.
Jameson Tank is our
Well,
number one for
shoot.
sure.
We can make that one happen.
That would be
pretty
so
quick.
much fun, though.
Let's
I would
do
love
it,
to do
man.
that.
I was thinking about it last night when you had, I guess it was you
I
that
hit you up,
swiped
yeah.
up
Yeah.
about October 8th. We already got something that day, but I was brainstorming because I was trying to think if we could do 40 watt and who would be in the middle or first that would make sense.
Yeah.
But that would
We could
work.
talk, I
with
would
us
be
three.
into that. We
Yeah,
can try
I
to get
love
one
that.
other. I've got, who Cannon in the boxes.
Oh, I know Ken. I saw him the
Yeah.
other night. He's a good
My
friend.
boy,
He was
yeah.
literally the first band on the show.
Really?
Yeah, his first
Wow,
band on the
sick.
show. Literally
Yeah.
2 years ago, probably.
Cannon's
yeah.
great.
cool.
Cannon's helped me get some gigs, and
Yeah?
so I can maybe brainstorm him and ask.
Have
for
you guys
him.
ever heard of the Asymptomatics?
I have heard of them.
They're
yeah.
out of what is it? Not Gwinnett, Alpharetta area.
Cool,
So
yeah,
they've
yeah.
done Smith's Old Bar and packed it out a few times, and we're planning on doing either Smith's or Aisle 5 with them. But it sounds like you guys are already booked at both those
Yeah.
places right now. We could do the trade, but I'm not. We'll
I mean,
do 40
I'd
watt
be
either
down to
way.
do it.
Yeah.
I'm down to do any of them.
It'd be fun. It'd
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah,
we
it'd
could
be
do.
cool.
We could do one down here, one up there.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to get
That'd
you
be
guys
awesome.
into the scene here. People would love you guys. We don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
We don't have enough. I mean, we've got rock
I think
bands.
I think Athens would like us more than Atlanta does. That's
Really?
that's what I've got.
That's kind of what Calico said. Calico was like, honestly, Atlanta loves us and all, but we play in Athens more because it just fits better
Yeah.
sometimes or something
I can
like
see
that.
that. I
think
can see that
so.
for them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's honestly not many power pop bands.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
There's rock bands. There's plenty of jam bands. There's a few
There's no power pop, man.
There's really not.
It's looked at as uncool because with power, not really not to us. But
Okay.
I think a lot of people are like, you got to turn it up or
Yeah.
get groovy, get funky. There's
Okay, I
a
get
middle
what you mean.
ground. There's a
Yeah.
middle ground like the Supergrass, the Oasis. It's badass to us.
yes.
I don't think people know that they want it.
Yeah, I think that's what's
Yeah.
good is that it isn't there, so they're not like they don't understand that it's not there because they've never seen it.
Hard
here.
rocking,
Exactly.
melody driven.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy that you guys have never seen us, but we're really not. We're a hard rock band and all, but we're one of the hardest rock bands in town without trying to be.
Sure, yeah, you're not
it's
going
not
to-
Very
like
effortlessly. We don't mean to.
Yes.
We're not purposely. We got to be the hardest rock band. In
yeah,
town.
it's just there's
that's just
no one else
naturally
there.
where we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I think you guys would fit in great. I think it'd be
Absolutely.
awesome.
I'm gonna book some stuff after
Yeah.
you've been talking. So
Word, sweet. I hope this spreads the word. Most of our listeners are Athens based, so this should be great for you guys.
So cool.
peace
Any
and love,
Athens
fellas.
fans, yeah.
Love.
If you're looking for an Atlanta band to play with, y'all holler at them. So let's close it up. Do you guys have anything you wanted to get across from this that you want to tell the camera? Anything?
Yeah, I got one thing.
Go ahead.
It's the Corduroy Blue.
The Corduroy
The
Blue?
is an important part.
The.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
all I gotta say. If you remember anything,
DCB.
thank you so much,
Yeah.
bro. That's
Yeah,
what I
man.
have to say.
Yeah, the Corduroy Blue, Wonder Man.
Oops.
And thank you guys for listening. We love you guys. That's all I got.
Yeah, tell them you guys Instagram names and everything.
Yeah.
We're pretty much the Corduroy Blue everywhere except for, I don't know, I got kind of quirky and decided to make Twitter funny, so we're the Quarter Boys on there.
I love it.
So if you're into Twitter, the Quarter Boys, everything else
is
the Corduroy Blue.
Our Twitter is
Emphasis
just
on the
stupid satire of me forgetting that I have a Twitter, and then 6 months later being like, "Hey, did you guys hear we released a song?" Like,
Literally.
What's up?
Yeah, we're
What's
like,
up?
yo, babe, wake up, new TCD
Smash that
dropped.
like button.
Smash it.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I enjoyed this. We made it 102 minutes. That's impressive.
Wow.
Not many make it that long. So
Woo!
good for y'all.
We can
Y'all had
talk.
great conversation. Great, even seems to be a strong democracy going on here.
Strong
That's great.
democracy.
Yeah, man.
That's
Love
kind
it.
of our struggle because it's very much usually he's the talker and I'm usually the listener.
It's been
Okay.
better though
It's
recently.
getting better.
No, that was good. That was a good amount of
I thought it
equalness.
was pretty good this time.
Well, there are certain
thought so.
things like
There's
I
some
love
things
that
that
we're
you-
talking about the podcast.
No,
Oh
you're
my
good.
gosh.
You're good. Keep going. Keep going.
Basically, I'm not gonna make him answer a question that he
I
has no
strictly
idea
don't know
about just
about,
to
yeah.
get him some
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Gotcha.
I want
like
you to-
I don't want to talk for the sake of talking. I only want to talk
Yeah.
when I really have something to say. And if I don't
Yeah.
have something to say, I'm
I'll-
totally fine with just
There was a
listening.
few that you pass off to him that made
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, but it's like if you're talking about logistics of booking bands, like that's
that's your
me
guy, and
question.
I'm not that guy, pal. You know, and that's fine. And I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna be your
guy,
little
pal.
listener.
I
you
love
know?
that. Well, good for y'all, man. Seems I got excited about everything y'all got going on. I mean, you got
man.
you got support, you got the look, you got the vibe, you got the tunes. I mean, it's all there. I'd be
all
be
there.
very surprised if this album doesn't do wonders for you guys.
think
I
we
man.
will,
appreciate that, man. Thank
and
you.
we can run this back whenever. And album comes out in November. That's a good 3 months.
I'd like
Let's
to do it in
again.
November. We can come in and listen to the tracks.
I would love to do
Oh,
that.
that'd be
I've
fun.
talked about doing that with a lot of bands and never done it, but we could come in here and pull them up on speakers.
That would be
We
so
can
fun,
pop
dude.
that
play
cherry,
them,
bro.
and then
Yes.
let's do it, and then we'll Sonic Foreplay, and then,
That's a great tie-in. You'd be a good
dude.
comedian.
I want to make fun
Thank
of
you
it,
all.
but
Good
it's
night.
kind of a
Thank you
perfect
all.
thing.
Yeah, it really is. What is the definition of Sonic Foreplay?
Well, I'll have to
Was
come
it
up
you
with a
that
real-
coined it?
He did.
You coined it?
Don't you dare.
He just pointed at me. I literally gave it
I
right
thought
to
it
you.
was you. I thought it was you. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our show sponsors, No Athens, the Classic City Jam. Tickets are underneath, and Clark's Collectives. Hit them up if you want to play a bar. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube at Jameson OTR. Follow these boys, etc., etc. All right, give them
hey.
a wave for the thumbnail. Hold on. Yeah, you guys smiling? Love it. All right, I'm sorry.
And listen to Jameson Tank. Stream them. Go check them out on tour.
Jameson
Check 'em out.
Tank.
Great guy. Great guy.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate y'all.
You